more delay, no more delay. Welcome, 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 welcome to Moorish World TV. I know that all around YouTube, Facebook, IG, people have been commenting on this topic. But this topic to me is a little bit personal. And I'm going to explain to you, and I hope y'all share this because I'm sending a message. It is what it is. I'm sending a message. But first, let me first and foremost rise and give a praise to the great God of the universal law. I give honor to his noble, illustrious prophet Noble Ali. I give honor to all of y'all that's watching now and all those that will be watching later, because we know in the Moorish Science Temple of America, when you honor man, woman, you honor God. It is what it is. Now, the way this show is starting today, it's going to start in such a way that I'm going to outline why this show. The name of the show is The Unconscious Conscious Community. Now, I know what I'm writing. I know what I'm doing. No one gets a pass. The most shameful, 2016, most shameful, whatever. Well, first, let me say this. The reason why this show is important because we're coming to the close of 2016. And not only will I be highlighting the good things, but I need to put a spotlight on the things where we need improvement and the things we need to throw away. So first of all, the first thing is I'm going to have people calling in. I'm going to call a few people, and a few are going to get a link. Hold one moment. Don't move, family. Islam, who I'm speaking with? Islam, who I'm speaking with? No, you have the wrong number. This is Moorish World TV. Whoever that was, he got the wrong number. This is Moorish World TV. Nevertheless, let's go. Get it. They messed my vibe up. Anyway, the reason why this show is important is because this is how it goes. During that, and I wasn't going to speak on it, and I try to hold my tongue, but sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard because some things just need to be addressed, you know. So during the you got the wrong number. I got the wrong number. I better not. But during the last debate that was going on, if y'all remember on my channel, and I'm putting it out there, if y'all can remember on my channel, I had the video where Divine Prospect was saying share, share, share. Divine Prospect actually put up the video. And when Divine Prospect put up the video, he had given the impression that he wanted it to be put into the public so people can know what was going on. And me at Moorish World TV, definitely, let me get that, and I'm going to inform people as to what's going on. Okay, now, when I did that, immediately, between the young Pharaoh and the beef with Sinetta and all of that, I get a call from Sinetta. Sinetta tells me, or asks me rather, brother, why are you going against me? Okay. I'm like, what you talking about? He was like, man, why you got that video up? It's making me look bad. I said, brother, my obligation is to the people. I'm reporting to the people, you know. Now, at this time, Sinetta is panicking because the house of consciousness, a house of cards, is crumbling. You know, he's trying to build it back. Good luck. Nevertheless, it's crumbling, you know. So he said, man, it's making me look bad. It's making me look bad. I said, well, look, this is what I'll do. I'll change the title for you because basically I'm only trying to report. And so the title said, something, 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 and a fight. So I said, I'll take the fight off of it, and left the video up. Later on that day, he called me again. Bro, you ain't gonna take the video down? I said, man, my obligation is to the people. I'm gonna let people know what was going on at this situation, at the situation at the debate. I said, and the brother that taped that filmed it or video recorded it, talk much, share. Man, F you. This is Sinetta. Man, F you. That's how you want to do? I'm going to strike your page. Now, I know he can't strike my page because it's not his video. That's what you want to do? Okay. That's what you want to do? I recorded you. I got recording of you. This is what he say to me. I got recording of you talking about Polite and Big Wolf. Now, mind you, Big Wolf is a friend of mine on my page or whatever. Big Wolf, my man. However, he's saying I got a recording. He's secretly recording me now of a conversation that me and him had. Now, let me tell you about the conversation. The conversation we had, as I tell everybody, what I say in private, I can say in public. The conversation that we had is Polite was trying to sell a friend of mine some services. Big Wolf. Big Wolf asked me about it. So I inquired to Sinetta. Have you ever heard of this? Sinetta says, no, I don't know nothing about that. I don't get into that. I said, man, it don't seem, I don't know what it's about, but just try to figure out what this service is. Now, I'm not going to go into the details, but I go on to say, man, listen, long as it's on the up and up, we good. Because my man, Wolf, I can get him on the phone right now. My man ain't that type of guy. So long as on the up and up, it's straight. Sinetta don't know nothing about it. Boom, conversation. It might goes on a little bit more, but whatever the case may be. Nevertheless, Sinetta got nerve to say, I recorded you. This is why I'm going to do a show called How to Spot a Counter Intel Pro Agent. This guy is recording me, and this is not the first time he did it. He recorded me with Brother Larry when I ain't have no clue. No, brother, I'm not beefing. I'm letting the people know what's going on, brother. I'm letting the people know what's going on. I'm not beefing with that brother. Doug 757. I'm really not beefing with the brother. I'm letting people know what's going on. Because this is the thing, Doug 57. You cannot let somebody act like they got something on you. You know what I mean? I say release the court. Release the recording. Release it. That's what I say. You know what I'm saying? Release it. So you can look crazy. That I'm inquiring about a friend of mine. But nevertheless, he threatens me that if I keep the video up, this is what the conscious community has come to. That if I keep the video up, he's going to expose me. You're going to have to expose me, bro. You're going to have to expose me. Because anything I do in private, I'll say in public. No problem with it. No problem with it. So he could not take the video down. But listen to the twist of this. This is what I mean by the unconscious, conscious community. He don't want nobody to see what happened at the event. The event was a failure. It's okay. Do better next time. You still got fans. Nobody's trying to learn from you, but they trying to be entertained. It's okay. Move on. Move on, man. But no, we got to turn this into, as we read these say, we got to turn this to another gangster episode. Bottom line is, he takes and call a guy that I really admire due to his information, Divine Prospect. And then he has divine prospect to strike my page. He has divine prospect to email YouTube. Right here. Email YouTube to strike my page after divine prospect said to share. You see, this video was taken down due to copyright complaint. You see, so that's not the point. Let me show you the point that I'm getting to. The point that I'm getting to is that it's no longer about sharing the information. It's no longer about informing people what really is going on. It's no longer about that anymore. Now it's about what Sinetta says that will determine what the people know. That's not happening over here. You know what I mean? That's not happening over here. You know, so, but you got to remember, you can't just record people like that. And you're supposed to let somebody know you're recording. But this goes to show you, these are the tactics. And Riri D saying he hold people ransom. He can't hold me ransom though. Because I could care less. Because I say it private, I say it in public. You feel me? You know, but the problem is he don't know who he playing with. I'm just the face. On Moorish World TV. You don't know who he playing with. Because I done already saved them 3 times behind the scene. 3 times behind the scene. Real talk. I done already saved them 3 times behind the scene. He know it, and I know it. And other people know it. So all of that bull crap about you're going to expose something, you're going to have to expose somebody, brother. Whatever you got. But this is where the conscious community has come to. The conscious community has come to the point where last night I slid through the channel, or the night before, and they're talking about commercializing the conscious community, meaning taking money from corporate America in order to make the platform competitive with a DJ Vlad, with a Hot 97, with a Power. They talking about taking money. You know what happened when you take that money. They're already taking the money. And this is why we have a circus going on in the conscious community. This is why nothing is being built in the conscious community. This is why. Man, we got flops. We have flops all year. Sinetta, he has the position to make a great difference in our community. Yet, nothing has been built. This has become all about money. Let's break it down for a minute. Let's break it down for a minute. 300 to 500 people fit into an auditorium at $30 a piece. Live stream $20 a piece at 20,000 downloads. 20,000 downloads. Take a second. Do the math. Do the math. Go look at how many live streams are paid for on these events. This is not about uplifting you, family. That's why nothing has been built. That's why there's no school. Let's do the math. Let's do the math real quick. The math of 20, I'm going to do the math. $20 times 20,000. Let's do the math. That's $400,000. That's $400,000. Y'all know he sold 20,000. Now I'm not counting the brother money. It doesn't make a difference. Make your money, but don't make your money under the auspice that you're uplifting people. You're not uplifting people. You're selling a commodity, which is fine. Which is fine. And when a brother start talking about, I was 20 years on the block, I was out selling on the block, I was da-da-da. This is a new era time now. And as the conditions change, man change. The conditions have changed. And the love for your people is not there. Because the love for your people will not encourage you to tell somebody mother to give you oral sex on on a national platform through the vehicle of YouTube. See, we need to eradicate this stuff out of the conscious community. We need to stop supporting this stuff. We need to let this stuff go to the wayside. We need to start supporting this stuff. And I don't care how many come at me. Make 1 million videos. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing. And I see you when I come to NY, and we can talk about it like men. Period. You know, because this is ridiculous that we are building nothing. We are building nothing. You know, we got to stop playing with this. With that being said, I'm going to open the line up real quick. I'm going to open the line up, and we're going to begin to have this conversation and take it to the next level. So let me put this number up in here real quick, family. Hold up. And we're going to get other people's perspectives on what has happened in this conscious community. And first up, I think I'm going to have my brother, Ishmael Bey. Let me see if he's available and see what his take on the conscious community. Now his take may not be what my take is. You know me, secretly recording people, thinking that you're going to hold some secret record. But you got to release that. I could care less. I could care less. You know what I mean? And I can get my man on the phone that I was having a conversation about. Yeah. I can get my man on the phone that I was having a conversation about. Real talk. Because this is ridiculous. We're not building nothing. We taking the people money. Not we, but you get what I'm saying. Taking the people money. That's all that's going on. Taking the people money, nothing is being built, and guess what? Acting as if we're uplifting fallen humanity. That's why I wait for that. Let's look at this. Anybody want to call in as I wait for my brother call in? Anybody want to call in? Here you go. Let's go. If anybody want to call in, talk to me. Because we need to fix this community. If we're going to do anything, we got to fix these communities so we can have some places for our children to grow up in. Real talk. Let's look at this real quick. I'm going to look at, I got a few things I want to show you, and I'm going to show you right quick. I want to show you right quick. Look at from the beginning of last year. What happened last year? Last year, and I'm highlighting the HOK because it's a house of cards. It's falling down. First of all, remember last year. Hold on one second. Islam, peace and love, family. Who I'm speaking with?
Vortex Television.
What's up, Lex? How you doing, my brother? Now, listen, brother, please control your language. This is a teaching platform, so if you can, my brother, please respect the platform and let's just control our language. But you can let it all out, my brother.
Oh, yeah. I don't really speak like that anyway.
Oh, no. I just have to let everybody know, my brother, you know, because sometimes we can get with a topic like this, brother, you know, and I know you've been through some things too. So I know you have a valuable opinion on this subject, the unconscious conscious community, brother. Come on, talk to the people, my brother.
Yeah, well, the AdSense community, formerly known as the conscious community, is what I call it now. A lot of this is everyone knows is due to ego and the money and all of that, and AdSense has been the devil. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with money, but when it becomes the main focus, it becomes a problem.
Facts.
But I see a lot of discouragement, though, you know what I'm saying, within the conscious community, and I don't want everyone else to get discouraged because of that. Because we're finding out that a lot of these leaders are not, you know what I'm saying, as well as they say they're supposed to be. I think it's just for other people to come together and do what they need to do. Now, I tried to organize with Sonetta and Polite something called the Unity Conference. I've been trying to do this for years behind the scenes with these guys, and even the Armor Rock Squad, I done talked to all of them, but they never was really interested in it, and which is funny because economically, I think it would even be more sound. Now, I don't know if you ever heard of the plan I have, but I want to just see what you think about it because I done brought it to many people, and actually, you were one of the people I mentioned when I talked about creating, making the conscious community something tangible on paper instead of just an idea, you know what I'm saying, and thought. And that was incorporating the conscious community and getting a person from every group represented on that board to represent the interests of not only their organization, but the community at large. I think this is the only answer to the division, because when we got to handle things in appropriate business business manner. So if you had, I think a lot of the infighting and egos would cease if everyone had a stake in the same thing, especially economically. So, maybe that's something you can help with in other people. You don't necessarily need all those other people who are, not about it, but there need to be a board form that represents every organization, the elders of that organization, and then they can centralize all the economics from those other organizations, kind of like the Vatican.
Absolutely.
I've been trying to tell people that for a long time. What you think about that?
Brother, I think you need to, if you can, give us a quick synopsis of what you're talking about. Hey, without you even saying nothing, I'm with it. And let's be clear. Let's be clear, brother. A lot of these guys that are not going to get a check are not going to be with it, but we can't let that bother us. The reason why people are not with these things, because it's not going to cut them a promising check, which, like you just said, you sound like a businessman. You say that, and what I mean a businessman, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. You said that, well, this could also be economically, and I'm going to change your words, economically viable or feasible, but they can't see it immediately, so they don't want to be a part of it. That's all that is. You understand what I'm saying? Businessmen might, the way I see things, I don't need to be paid today, but I know the guarantee is there for tomorrow, and then you take that money to uplift people, not to take that money and floss. But give us an outline of what you was thinking of, brother. I know you said that. I know you said you get the elders or you get somebody to represent each thought in the community. You bring them together, and what would be the next step? Would it be programs? Would it be teaching? Would it be traveling? What would be the next step once everybody sit down and discuss? What are we discussing?
Well, mostly for the most part, economics and politics. So, for instance, you got the Moors, you got the Israelites, you got the Panthers, you got, the RBGs, the Hoteps, whatever, all these different groups, gods and earth. When I say bringing together, I'm not talking about for just a discussion. I'm talking about to form a corporation with a board.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then each of these groups, this becomes what you would call the parent corporation of them, and sort of say.
Right, but you talk about real work here, though. You're talking real work here. This is not just take somebody money and perform on stage. You talk about real work here. Somebody got to file this paperwork. I have a business. Somebody going to have to file this. Somebody going to have to cross the T's and dot the I's. See what I'm saying?
And then, see, a lot of the infighting would stop because everyone has a stake in this. And so what you do is each organization, they take, just kind of like the church, they make a tie to the parent organization from what they get from their own individual group. So say if every group gave 10% to the parent organization. Now, the parent organization, which would be, let's just call it the Conscious Community Incorporated. Now, they gather the masses of the funds, right? And then they make decisions on investments or whatever we want to do, whether it's get a land or a building, and then they invest that, and they also are making money off that investment. Now, you also get rid of the fact that you have any type of scamming and all that, because nothing can be made, and because you got a board, it's not one individual making decisions. Now you have a board that all have to agree on what they're going to do. So now you have an accountability. And not only that, you have people now, you talk about 20,000. If you have people united from all these organizations, you talk about 100,000 people willing to give you maybe $20 a month, not a year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They know they got a legitimate something to invest into. Now, when those investments are, when they reach some type of fruition, now you can give back even to the people.
Lex, you know what I think you should do, my brother? That sounds great. I think you should spearhead the program and invite people to it. I'm in. Because if we wait to go and ask people to join before we put the boots on the ground, we know what we're going to get, which you already got. You understand what I'm saying? So inbox me where I can talk to you off the show and let me know what I need to do, who I need to get, what it's going to cost to get this thing incorporated, to get our trustees and our board or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it takes. Let's start to put things in motion. Man, I'm a doer, man. I'm not with all that talking, you know, and I see that you are a doer too. So let's just do it. You know what I mean? Let's find out what steps we have to take first and get it rolling. Because these brothers ain't building no communities, man. They've been doing this stuff for over 20 years, and they brag about their 20 and 30-year track record, but they have nothing to show for it. That's ridiculous.
So I'll be, you know what I'm saying, I like what you're doing, bro, but I'll be in contact with you, and man, hopefully I'd like to bring you on the show sometime too, but I'll hit you up on Facebook and we'll talk later.
Yeah. I would love to come on the show. Thank you, my brother. Peace and love. Look, so all of these people are bragging on their track record. For 20 years, my track record. For 20 years, my track record. Look what I've done. For 20 years, I was doing this. For 20 years, I was doing that. What have you produced? What? People showing submachine guns, assault weapons, that oppose your ideal. That's what you produce. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? What have you produced, man, for 20 years, man? You know what I mean? I don't care how many people you woke up. At this point, you know what I mean? We need something on the ground. You know what I mean? And I don't mean I don't care, man. That's a great thing that you're doing. Giving people information. That's a beautiful thing. But at the same time, they can't keep eating that information. That information should inspire them to build something. If the information does not inspire them to build something, an educational institution, something for them little babies, something that the dope boy have an alternative so he can stop selling dope. Huh? Something for the sister so she can stop chasing them men, having them babies with irresponsible men. If your information have not inspired you to do that, you done wasted 20 years. And I said it. You done wasted 20 years. let me touch on this real quick. I see my brother D Red in the building. Let me touch on this real quick. You little guys, little guy Dagger Squad guys running around making these videos about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Very weak presentation. I made you an offer. I made you an offer that Ali's men, somebody, and I'm throwing Ali's men out the window with this one. I just know how sharp we are. Somebody on Ali's men would love to sit down and have an intelligent conversation, debate with you concerning your little weak presentation about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. See, your problem is you're only scratching the surface. When you connect the doctrine of Prophet Noble Drew Ali to a European, when he already told you it comes from the Muslims of India, Africa, and Europe, why didn't you go deeper? Why didn't you try to find out what Muslim mean and then try to trace the doctrine to that Muslim? You're going to look foolish. So, hey, it's all right. Then you want to trace the Prophet Noble Drew Ali with magicians. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on, man. We're not even going to get into all that. I say you accept the challenge. You know what I mean? Accept the challenge. Dagger Squad. Anybody know Dagger Squad? Tell them accept the challenge. Period, point blank. D Red, what's up, family? How you doing?
Shoot, what it do to Harper, baby?
Brother. So the topic of the day is the unconscious conscious community. Did anything stand out to you in 2016 with this unconscious conscious community?
Man, it's a whole bunch of stuff stood out to me, man.
Give
The
me a
whole
couple
lot.
things, brother. Give me a couple things, brother. Let's go in. And
I mean, first,
don't put no
first of all, I mean, now you know me, man. I be trying to be cool because we both can't be hype. You know what I'm saying? Because you get hype, but I can't get hype too. You know what I'm saying? But no, man. Shoot, I mean, just a lack of leadership. You know what I mean? All you got a million dudes running around here calling themselves a leader, calling themselves a general, calling themselves a prince, calling themselves a whatever. We ain't got no school. Still ain't got no school. I mean, Flint still got a water crisis, and where the general at? You see what I'm saying? You got people that think that they somebody because they on YouTube, Reggie. You know what I'm saying? But ain't got a program, ain't got a daycare, ain't got a goddamn writing program, reading program, nothing. So you got a whole bunch of people that's trying to be YouTube famous. You got a bunch of people that's in this for the little old money. You see
right.
what I'm saying? That's self-serving. That if it ain't about dollars, it don't make sense, and ain't no consciousness in that. You see what I'm saying? Now, if we want to go to the teachings of Father Allah, he gonna tell you. You got the 85% that's deaf, dumb, and blind. You got the 10% that's the bloodsuckers of the poor, and the 5% of the poor righteous teachers. Now, you got to ask the people in the community, the leader that you follow, based upon your doctrine, which one does your leader fall under?
How about that?
Is your leader a poor righteous teacher, or is your leader chasing the dollar?
Huh.
And most people don't want to hold their leaders accountable. Our people hero worship. We bash the Christian church, but the Christian church got services. We
How
bash
about
the Christian church, but the Christian church got daycares. They pay people rent if they about to get evicted. They pay people's car notes. They do all this stuff, but folks want to bash the Christian church. Christianity is this. Christianity is that. This, that, and the third. But the country community ain't got no services. Look how Dr. Ben went out.
how about that? How about that?
Let's look at how Dr. Francis Chris Wilson went out.
Talk about it, brother.
Know what I'm
Talk about
saying? But they want to talk about everybody else about what consciousness is and knowledge of self. And I asked Reggie, where does knowledge of self, or just books alone, information alone, ever liberated anybody? He couldn't even answer the question. So the stuff that these Negroes is talking about, and I call them Negroes because Sutex say death to the Negro. I agree with them. And these dudes in the conscious community are Negroes.
Brother, what do you think about things getting so heated that people are showing guns on social media? That's gangster or is that conscious? What is that?
Man, that's rigmarole, as my granddaddy would call it. That's rigmarole. Because the same dude that's pulling the gun, that's trying to flash it on the brother, talk about bang on the beast, but shoot, he ain't ever banged on the beast.
Exactly. How about
You
that?
should have, you know what I'm saying? So, as a matter of fact, I mean, we all know about the video where the chick called him out. He said, "I ain't put nobody on my back." You see what I'm saying? So, I
Yeah.
mean, he ain't no general. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. These people personality worship. You see what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? I mean, then you got Negroes talking about aliens and reptilians. Dr. Khaled already told you, beware anybody that's gonna take your ass to Mars. You see what I'm saying? So to show you how retarded the so-called RB, and I'm an RBG, but it shows you how retarded the RBG movement done got. You got dudes walking around with unks on that's talking about the Anunnaki. Get your ass out of here.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what.
And then they'll tell you, I have to cut you out, dog, and then they'll talk about spookism. They'll talk about spookism. But then they'll talk about the same dude to be talking about the Anunnaki and all this other black matter. Like, man, sit down, bro. And then this is why I stressed to you before we need a rites of passage. Because had we had a rites of passage, these people probably wouldn't even be preaching none of this stuff. Because they would have so much love for the people that they would love them too much to mislead them. But
Yeah.
because they don't have a bond and connection with the people that they're speaking to, it's all about the hustle. It's the hotel hustle. We
And
got
check this
preacher
out.
pimps and hotel hustlers.
And check this out, D-Red. And we need to requalify. You know how nurses, they got a lot of nurses in Baltimore, GNC, GNS, or G, whatever they call them people, GNAs, CNAs, GNAs, all that stuff, right? And every so often, they got to be recertified because some of these old hoteppers think they can live off their 20-year track record when they stop having love for the people from the people to the money and think they can live off their past accomplishments. You feel what I'm saying? We got to stop that too. Because without a doubt or contradiction, I believe my brother Sinetta had love for the people. I believe he do still have some love for the people. But I believe that he have a greater love for that finance. Period, point blank.
Now let me add to this, to Harker. Now I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it as police would say. I call them police. You know what I'm saying? I don't call them polite. I call them police. You know what I'm saying? As po, because I'm still trying to wait for that paperwork to to you know what I'm saying, to stop that ass whooping. I'm trying to figure out how come it didn't stop that ass whooping. But anyway, excuse my language, but you know,
Hey, Doc, keep your language right, baby. Keep your language right.
you know what I'm saying? But no, I mean, to me, a person's track record don't mean nothing if in that 20-year span of time you ain't built no institutions. Now,
Exactly.
I'm not saying that you got to have the biggest school in the world. You see what I'm saying? I know a sister down here, no sister, Mommy Imani and them that got Sankofa Academy. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the biggest school in the world. You see what I'm saying? But they service in the community.
Right.
They doing the best they can. They working out of the Shape Community Center down here. So it's people that's doing stuff. It might not be on a grand scale, but it's people doing stuff. And they actually love and care about the community. And so for these people to not do nothing, I mean, and I always indict New York, and I'm gonna keep on doing it. You got 19,000 conscious groups in the New York City alone. How come you Negroes ain't policing your community? That makes no damn sense.
Hey, look,
But
this
but if you want to be the hub of consciousness, be the hub. Consciousness. My grandmama told me, who participated in the civil rights movement, told me consciousness is not about how many books you read. Consciousness is your action.
bro,
Consciousness is what you do. It's how you move. It ain't got nothing to do with how many books you read.
bro, I made an offer, and then I'm gonna let my other brothers come in. I made an offer to Sinetta. I gave him some advice. I say, bro, I say, check this out. I said, Hold up. I said, bro, check this out. I said, listen, you command a lot of people attention. I say, why don't you promote it and create a day that everybody that supports you from around the country come to Harlem and stand in front of every store on 125th Street for a whole day. Economic base down in Harlem because the Europeans are moving in. Brother said, that's a good idea. I said, no, for real. I say, all the followers that subscribe to you on YouTube, we can get a bunch of people just one day stand in front of stores, not harassing, not being no gangster, just saying, look, we're not purchasing anything today, family. Not today, family. For the day. You know, not aggressive. You understand what I'm saying? And shut the economic force down today. Brother act like I was speaking Chinese. Act like, see, there's nobody want to do no activism. Nobody wants to do any activism. Everybody wants to try to do the capitalism. Nobody want to do the activism. They just want to do the capitalism. And that's our downfall. Because all of this beef going on with Pharaoh and HOK, all that stuff that happened, and this water under the bridge, I would assume, whatever. But all that stuff that happened is all money driven. All money driven. There's nothing to uplift nobody. There's nothing that's put in place to build anything. It's money driven. With that being said, let me bring my brother up in here. My brother Ali Bey. Ali Bey, as I was telling you, brother, we gonna go out on this year, addressing the year and the next show too. What was going on this year. And then on the new year, we're going on to some bigger and better things, and you know what's going on with that. But with that, brother, we have to address these elephants in the room so we can move in the next year and begin to let people know that this stuff do not belong into the conscious community. Ali Bey, how you feel, brother?
Islam, bro. Everything is good. Everything is good. How's everything with you?
I'm doing well, brother. This year, 2016, has been an amazing, shameful year for the quote unquote unconscious conscious community. That's what we're gonna call them. They the UCC, unconscious conscious community. That's what they are. They the UCC. They're not the conscious community. That's what it is, right there. I got it. The unconscious conscious community. That's who they are. That's it. Yeah, brother. What stood out to you and was highlighted this year for you? It could be anything. I'm on the HOK because I said before that HOK was a house of cards, a house of cards, and it comes true. They're a house of cards and it's falling. So, brother, what stood out to you this year so far? We almost done.
Specifically, I think that we did a good job in terms of pushing these guys back with their attacks on Noble Drew Ali, their attacks on the Moorish movement, the attacks on Moorish history, which is really insane. But I think we did a really good job with that. I think we did a good job with exposing the falsehoods inside of the Moorish community itself, the various sovereign citizen teachings and tactics and jargon and all of these things that actually exist amongst Moors. I think we did a really good job. I feel like there's more that we need to touch on, obviously. I mean, you know, we spoke about it, and and just overall, man, I think just the work that we've put in terms of research, in terms of answering a lot of the false claims and the misleading claims, whether it's to people Shaka, Brother Larry, Star, Star Buck Wow, all of the
Oh,
different
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
You know?
thank you, Ali. You made me remember something. The reason why it kind of slipped my mind for a second, because I opened the show and talk about how Sinetta is going to talk about secretly recorded me and he's going to release it. Well, this is the day he's going to have to release it this week, and he's going to have to expose me. He's going to have to expose me. He's going to have to do it. You know what I mean? Because I want your people to see how counter intel pro you really are, sneaking around recording people. I don't care what is being said on the recording personally. Like I said, you better watch who I'm talking about on the recording, because you ain't got to worry about me, because I was protecting a friend of mine interests. So you ain't got to worry about me. So, hey,
Right.
it is what it is. But go ahead, Ali Bey.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think even with that particular situation, it's nothing, man. It's because, from what I know about you, brother, is that you are what you get. What you see is what you get. Whatever it is that you saying, you're gonna stand on it. And so, if it's a recording of something, where you said it, I feel like it's. I guarantee, I'm pretty sure it's something that you will stand on in the public. So, if he got something that he wants to release, let him release it, man. At the end of the day, it ain't
Absolutely.
gonna change nothing.
Absolutely. And guess what? And we can go release for release with him begging me to get the dogs
Mm,
off him.
mm.
With
See,
him begging me to get the dogs off him. We talk about the dogs. I can
yeah,
get one on the phone right now.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, mine 100 with that. Mine 100 with that. But this conscious
Yes,
community
sir.
has gone crazy. This unconscious conscious community, that's what it is. But carry on, Ali Big. I see my brother Grim is in here, and that's my brother right there. Grim, I want you to go in. This is the end of the year, and it's time to set it straight so we can clear it off and go into this future uplifting our people. But let my brother Ali Bey finish up, and then, brother, it's on you.
Yeah, bro. I mean, in terms of the whole conscious community thing, man, I never liked that title. I
No,
never
this is
liked
the
it. I never.
unconscious. It's the unconscious
Yeah,
conscious community. That's who they are, UCC. In terms of the
I
UCC,
never liked. hmm No doubt. I never liked it. I never claimed to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Never will be a part of it. Have no desire to be connected or affiliated with it in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I actually posted something like that this morning because a sister, um, I think her name is not Ruby. She's a MC, conscious MC, quote unquote. She had posted on her wall this morning about all of the craziness that she sees going on within within this so-called this so-called community, and it's crazy. Matter of fact, I just hold on. Let me just say what she said because this was wild. I don't know if you saw it this morning. Her name is Narubi Salah. She said, I woke up to even more drama in the so-called black conscious community on my timeline. She said, listen, none of you are gangster. None of you. So stop it. Gangsters don't make PowerPoints and burn patchouli. So stop it. Y'all look stupid. The only thing y'all beating up are those keyboard keys. Go bang on the government since you're so gangster. Or levitate and stare at some crystals or something. I thought it was a really, really cool post, man, in terms of addressing the nonsense that's going on. But yeah, I have to agree with her, man. It's just real stupid, man.
man,
Real
it's
stupid.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. With that, let my brother Grim come on in. Grim, are you there, my brother? Grim, be on there. Are you there, my brother? But this is the thing. The purpose of this show is to bash and beat down this nonsense. So why are you
I'm
coming
here,
at me? Why
Muslim.
are you banging? I'm banging on the nonsense. It needs to stop. With that, my brother Grim is back. Brother Grim, how you doing? Introduce yourself to the people and come on in, brother. And like I said, don't hold nothing back. Let's make sure that we keep our Moorish composure. But go hard, brother. Talk to me.
Islam, brother man. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Just having a little technical difficulty on my part, so if y'all could bear with me. all is well. With that being said, more, you know, a lot of this stuff basically has its origin in those first debates started. And you know, when those first debates started, that's when the egos came in, man. Because, you know, man, other than just a few little tit for tats, man, nobody really wasn't, you know, going hard like people are going hard right now on each other. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this was bound to happen. You know, the end of 2016, we just basically seeing the evolution of the problem. And the problem is that in the like Ali Bey said, I hate to call it the conscious community. You know, I've been at this thing for a while now, just like yourself. You know, I done been in several different organizations. And I didn't, you know, A to Z. You know, but at the end of the day, it was always all about the people, correct? All about, you know, our people. But what I believe, uh, a contingency of people who joined this quote unquote so-called, you know, conscious community for notoriety and fame, right? For notoriety, fame, and then whatever little coins that they could take off of some people. So what ended up happening, I mean, just like in the street game, corners, right? So, you know, in the street game, if you can't share these corners, a lot of people brought this same concepts and ideas and ideology from that into this so-called conscious community. So guess what? I can't share the Moorish World TV with Taharka Bay, or the Moorish community's attention with Taharka Bay. So guess what? Z Gremillion-El got to do. I got to knock off Taharka Bay by, you know, exposing something that might be in his personal life, or lying on him, or slandering him, or knocking him off the stage. So Taharka Bay. And this is basically what we have in the conscious community with the whole thing. So right now, you know, uh, uh, you know, right now, man, it's just like hotter than hotcakes right now on the scene, because, you know, moral science, for all intents and purposes, you know, Drew Ali, as we all know, it basically died down. The 80s, died down in the early 90s. I mean, late 80s, early 90s. This stuff that Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught is back up on the rise again. You know, with that being said, you have brothers and sisters, you know, saying, well, we got to share the block now with these Moors. So what was the most convenient thing to do? Temple of America. Knock them off the block. Knock Gremillion-El off the block. Knock Taharka off the block. So basically, in my opinion, what these guys are doing is knocking people off the block that is taking attention from their whole plight, and them trying to be the soul shining light, the conscious community. Now, let me, brother man, if I could, can I talk about a personal situation?
Can you hold one second? Hey, my brother, give me 1 second. I got a caller. Let's get through the caller, and then you run it down for me. Can we do that?
Yes, sir, brother.
All right. Who I got on the line, my brother?
You got
Talik El Islam, my brother. Now listen, my brother, I've been following your posts. I love you, brother. I dig your perspective. Due to the fact that you hit hard, you keep it 100, and you don't pull no punches. But it seems to me that you do it in love, not with malice intent, brother. How has the conscious community have What have you seen in the conscious community? I noticed the post that I seen today about the brothers from the Washita, where it appears that they have the same picture trying to duplicate it as if the same picture is an older picture, but it's the actual same picture.
Yeah, what it is that I was always curious. I had looked at some pictures in the past regarding first let me start this off right. First I rise and I give high praise and go to Allah, the center of all the universe, creator of everything, you and I in existence. I rise and I give high praise and honor to his illustrious noble prophet Noble Ali. I rise and I give high honors to Marcus Mosaic Garvey. I rise and I give honors to each and every one of you here on this call. And the reason to start what I was saying is I looked at some Native American pictures and I started noticing the hat. Now, it's passed off for a while that to be a fez. Now, it's fez like. Now, I'm not trying to argue the fact of the existence of our people here on this continent. I'm not arguing that. I know that's for a fact.
Right.
At the same time, sometimes I think when we get hold of something good, we like to put a little more sugar on it. You know,
Yeah.
That was the case, and it's been throughout all these different books written by people within that paradigm of the indigenous Moor paradigm. And we took that picture, and that picture has been passed off to be the Empress Washita's grandmother, I believe. And I looked at that picture and I found a picture, the same picture, and it's been pixelated even to a clear version. And it was the title or the subcaption of the actual picture was a woman from the Cayuse tribe out west, like in Oregon or somewhere. So I wanted this and I had posted that up just for dialogue, so people may see that is this the grandmother of the Empress, or maybe there's something else mine. I'm not saying the Empress, it's the Empress's fault. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying this has been a ongoing thing within the conscious community, because it's been wrapped up too with the Moorish paradigm and all that. People saying that the brother sitting down in the chair is John Hanson. His name is John Hanson, but it's not the same John Hanson that was president of the Continental Congress. That's been passed off for years. You know what I'm saying? So I told one brother, we just want honest scholarship so we can verify, so we won't look dumb at the end of the day.
And you know what? And I'll let you carry on, my brother. You know, the funny thing about it is that we don't even have to make up anything, because Prophet Noble Drew Ali and his teachings is straight to the point, direct, raw, uplifting, and can be verified just as he spelled them out. We don't have to go to fantasy. It's unnecessary.
That's right, Mo. And let me say this about the conscious community. And I made a post before about it. And the reason why I got so passionate about it is because it woke me up. You're dealing with somebody who lives in South Jersey. You know what I'm saying? We don't get a lot of conscious stuff going on. And I patterned a lot of my growth through the conscious community, because I was really buying those DVDs almost every time I got a check. And I went and I bought a couple of DVDs because that was my church, because I was coming away from the church. You're dealing with somebody that was a holy ruler, Pentecostal back in the day when I was younger. And I needed something to escape from that. I needed something alternative from that. So the conscious community was it. The information from Melanin, from Phil Valentine, from Bobby Emmett, all this, so even Dr. Umar, who I brought to my college to speak, you know what I'm saying? I brought him to my hometown to speak, and it got out of hand, brother. And I'm going to tell you when it got out of hand, you're right, it is about money. Because ever since when the Moorish paradigm was breaking out in New York, now I'm saying, it started getting more money. Because people didn't want to necessarily hear about Kemet. They wanted to hear how they wanted to get out some tickets.
Yeah.
Right? So people started going to those lectures more. So therefore, I let him either double back, he found Seti, who put whatever he put out on there that was totally misinformation, but brought him enough because he had much stir to the forefront, and therefore this is where this all started from. As far as this debate thing, because he started getting more money off the debates than he go off the regular election.
That's right.
That's right. That's how all this really started. It really started from that point, and from there, everything's been about a debate. I remember the time where it was just about the elections. People wanted to go to New York just to press hands with these brothers and build with these brothers. I one sister at my job said she wanted to go up there. I said, don't even go up there no more because it's not the same that it was.
You're right, brother. I was one of them. Man, I wanted to meet Sinetta. I was one of them.
Right.
Man, I was one of them guys, man, that used to get off, get up there, and I'm telling you, 3 people. I wanted to not so much Sinetta as a celebrity, because he had turned into a celebrity to me just because of the uploads he used to do with the Phil Valentines and the Dr. Settings, and he just used to upload the DVDs. But it came a time, man, I wanted to meet Brother Sharif, I wanted to meet Azim Hopkins Bey, and I wanted to meet Brother Polite. For real.
Yeah, I met Brother Polite.
Yeah.
And I interviewed him. My son played with his daughter. We were all at what was it, the Harriet Tubman School out there in Harlem for an event. You know what I'm saying? I was out there. You know what I'm saying? It was the atmosphere to be in at the time. People were lecturing, people were building, and that's what we wanted. But now it's just like nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to share the information. Everybody wants to debate. It's all about ego. Half of these people are recycling information. Half of these people are taking stuff that was before and trying to make it like it's new. Everybody's remixing. And everybody, and it's like this thug type of mentality. You know what I'm saying? These people coming out of prison, you know what I'm saying, getting on the information and then arguing, you know what I'm saying, like everything what they say is right and exact. And it's just like, and this next thing we arguing about the Melanin, but you never been to Kemet to study the Melanin. How you arguing about?
Yes, exactly.
You gotta know. You gotta sit down and know what the Melanin is. Or it can't be spoken. It can't be. How do you know it can't be spoken? If it has a vibration, it can be made. It's simple. You just gotta be humble enough to know there's people over there who could probably read it and speak it. You know what I'm saying? I know, and the Melanin, it has broken off the different branches of African languages, such as Wolof. There's a brother from in the Senegalese community who can read the Melanin.
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm Brother Talik, then I'm gonna let my brother come on. I'm gonna tell you this. When the conscious community began to go into the debate, and I can tell you this, I was mad on fire when Seti was sitting on that couch with Brooklyn and Sabir. Brother, I was on fire. And let me tell you something. My father loves Seti. Because he likes Seti fire. And he always, and even to this day, you know what he say to me? I get Seti on you. Don't let me call Seti. But back then, even though Seti was coming at the Moors, there was still some form of dignity. There is no dignity no more. There was a little bit left on that. I think the last little inch or basic piece of dignity was gone after that couch thing. And that's when that debate happened on the stage and that money came in, it was all a wrap.
Because that was a setup, and the way they allowed it, you know, Aleem graced Sinetta many times to give information on election. But how you gonna play Aleem out like that, knowing that, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like, it felt like everybody was against that brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, we don't want to necessarily, we know also, you know, when it comes to the more signs, how, you know, the brother should have went about it. But at the same time, it wasn't, that whole election wasn't done in love. And as in the community sense, it was everybody come at the Moor. Everybody come at the Moor.
Yeah. Hey, and they got whooped. Brother Sharif whooped them. We're going to talk about that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
He did, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? If someone who follows the conscious community, you know what I'm saying, is no longer where it is. It's not even a conscious community.
You know what I'm saying? That luster is gone. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, the be on YouTube and the speculation on DVD. I'm not saying other people ain't putting in work or not building something. I'm saying continue to do that for those who may hear my voice, you know, on Moorish World TV. Continue to do your work. Continue to start your home schools and so forth and so on. That's where we're at now. We're beyond lectures now.
Absolutely.
We're homeschool. We're trying to start your homeschool, start your naturopath businesses and your home gardens and all those type of stuff. Start your businesses and stuff like that. That's where we're at now. We're not into lectures anymore because now the lit profession has to go somewhere else. You know, if you're gonna do it, write a book.
Yeah.
Write a book. Don't copy and paste.
Brother, and that's what I just said, and then I'll let you go. I'll let my brother come in real quick. But I just put in the chat that I'm doing a Moorish World TV tour, which means that we're going to bring some lectures and presentations. But on the second day, I'm going to show how you purchase a house, how you purchase a building for a little bit of nothing. Where I can charge for these seminars, I'm gonna do it for free. We get the group in whatever city that we're in. We say, listen, this is how you do it. I'm gonna give you step by step free lecture, free presentation, free PowerPoint on how you do it. I will have the analysis of your city, where the properties are, what it will cost. You understand? And what it will cost to rehab, how to shortcut. This is how, matter of fact, I had this conversation with Brother Sharif real quick. This is how the so-called or the Jewish European does it. He knows how to get this stuff dirt cheap. He knows how to go around all of this other stuff to make something happen. Well, I'm going to give that information in any city that I come to and give a presentation on the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the history of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, or anything relates to consciousness. I'm also going to give you the blueprint on how to start something and make something tangible to go in your pocket and in your mouth. Period, point blank.
More, I would say this. Can I support you if you got time to come up to Camden, New Jersey? You know, Mo, hey, I could try to find a venue for you.
More, I'm going to inbox you, and we set it up. I already got some guys. I got a brother. Shout out to my brother in Chi-Town. He got a venue. He putting the venue together. We're going to talk on Friday. Shout out to Arnell Bay. He's bringing me out there to Chi-Town. Shout out to my brothers in Cali. Shout out to my brother D Red trying to bring me out into Houston. So, I mean, we got things rolling. Brother, and we need to get this message out. You know, it's okay to learn the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, all the lessons and how to apply it today. But I want to show the other lesson that people fail to talk about, and that's how the Prophet Noble Drew Ali conquered South Side of Chicago, politician, economics, and all.
Right.
I want to show that, and I got the information to do it. Islam, my brother. But I appreciate you, Talik. Yeah, I would love to have you on the show one time, brother, and just chop it up. Well, I'm starting a new channel, Tahaka Bay Live, and me and you gonna go one-on-one and talk about some things, brother Talik Hill, if you would. I would love that, my brother.
Yeah, I love that too, brother. All right.
All right. Peace and love. Inbox me, brother, to give me a reminder so we can set this thing up so we can go up to what do you say, Camden?
Camden, yeah, CMD.
There we go, my brother. Peace and love. With that being said, let me bring my brother Zach back in, and I got my brother goodness. I got my brother Ishmael Bay. Ishmael Bay gonna hit me in my mouth, man. I forgot my own brother name. This is crazy. Anyway, is Gremillion-El, are you there?
Yes, sir, brother, man. I'm back.
Okay, my brother. I want you to go on in. Then I'm gonna let my brother Ishmael Bay come on in because I know he got something to say. Then we're gonna swing it on to my brother D Red and back to Ali Bay. But brother, I want you to give us the spill on your situation that you was about to go in on before I got the call.
All right, Islam war. I appreciate it, Grand Sheik. And this is the thing, you know, and this is really an extension of the actual conversation that we talking about right now in regards to the conscious community. So you know, brother man, the past several shows we've been going in on a lot of the sovereign citizen ideology. But the thing about it is that, you know, things about RV Bay publications and so on and so forth, Taj Tariq Bay sovereign citizen stuff. But the thing about it is that when we went at the bogus information, you know, coming from that camp, we didn't do it because we dislike Taj, or we trying to make a name for ourselves, or we agents that work for Black Shield or COINTELPRO or the federal government or whatever. And we was basically putting this information out because it was actually hurting people. And, you know, right now, you know, I have a friend of mine, I don't know if she's still watching, but a friend of mine, you know, basically, you know, sent me a message, you know, in that regard to some of these same people that's a part of this camp, but one of them happened to have either been local or was local at one point in time. So as you all know that, you know, I was the Grand Sheik Temple of America in New Orleans. And this particular administration was under Brother E. Braswell Bay. And the reason I'm telling this particular story is because one of these sovereign citizen Moors who think that he knows me or know what's going on in my particular locale basically did what we talking about today, which is slander my name. And, you know, I sent you a copy basically of the post that he put out. And I know it was related to Moorish World and you know, our appearance on Moorish World dealing with the topics, because the first several posts was about Moorish World TV and, you know, how Ali's men and the brothers that was on the show are agents working for the federal government and all of this other stuff because we don't agree with that ideology. So basically, you know, what ended up happening is this brother saying that, you know, before we and you know, it's not big news, but you know, we closed the temple under that particular administration, which was temple number 34. But the brother put on the particular post, and I'll read it if I can. Basically, the brother put out the post saying that before I closed the temple, I stole money from the Moorish Science Temple of America, or that I stole money from the members. And some of this stuff you'll be able to relate to, brother man, because I'm gonna make some particular points in regard to the situation. And I'm basically looking so I can read the actual post verbatim of what the brother said about me. And the only reason why he said it is because we don't believe in the illegal sovereign citizen ideology, which tells people not to drive without driver's license, not to pay taxes. And you and I know, everybody know, Ali Bey, Ishmael, all the brothers know that these sisters and brothers have been going to jail following this ideology. But you know, for this brother sent a message saying, I see Zachary Gremillion-El trying to speak as if he is upright, but I know people whose money you took right before you closed the so-called temple in New Orleans that was supposed to be located at Aretha Castle Haley and Erato, a street, a neighborhood I know very well because I was raised in that area. No temple. People even say that's why you are on Facebook under alias Pita. Also, if you remember, I already exposed Ali's men with Lord Smirk, whoever that is, last year. People, please study for yourselves. Don't trust anyone. Don't trust anyone. Trust yourself only after you have studied yourself. Peace. Now, with that being said, Brother Taharka, there like this, brother man. If you know, because you are a part of a particular administration that is basically straight up and down old school Moorish Science Temple of America, correct?
Absolutely.
And I was a part of a particular branch that was no different than the branch. It came from the same school of thought. So when you analyze Noble Drew Ali's literature, and in 1928, they were charging what, 50 cents dues? Correct? They were charging 50 cents dues for the for membership for your nationality card, 25 nationality card, 50 cents for that. 50. So me being under my Supreme Grand Sheik, Brother Emmanuel Braswell Bay, I follow orders. I pick up 25 cents. However, because Noble Drew Ali said it that way, that's the way we collected dues. Now, come on, brother man. Who, you know where I'm going with this? Who, with a bag full of coins and quarters that was worth stealing from the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America when we was charging people something like what, 50 cents a week? Brother, I couldn't even pay the rent on a modern day building, the median, collecting those types of dues and assessments. So basically, this is showing you that the Moorish Science Temple of America is not a lucrative situation like these mega churches where you can steal all of this money. So, and I hope my friend is still listening to this situation, but listening to this conversation. But the bottom line is this, right? I end up with that in some of these Moors. I'm gonna have to come straight up the middle. You know how some of these Moors are. Dues 50 cents. You can barely get 50 cents for some of these Moors. So guess what? Gremillion-El end up flipping the bill for the stuff that the Moorish Science Temple couldn't pay for. I'm telling you my story, brother man. So when the rent was due, it came out of Gremillion-El's pocket. When we had fundraisers and we had to get the raw materials or whatever for cookouts or whatever, different things, Gremillion-El flipped the bill. When we brought the Supreme Grand Sheik to town to speak at Southern University, flipped the bill. When it was time to go to convention, Gremillion-El flipped the bill. Now, I'm married with 2 children, and I'm flipping these bills for my particular temple to put us on the map. And we wanted to do different types of investments and things, but I'm not gonna go there. But the bottom line is what I'm telling you is that it ain't like the Moorish Science Temple of America here was a mega church. Now we had probably a dozen or so members in the temple, and 6 of those was dedicated, and the rest of them was my family members. So who am I going to steal money from when the Moorish Science Temple of America is not making a lot of money for me to steal from? So basically what I'm telling you is that these people will go to any types of depths, I should say, to slander a good man's name, to detract from the fact that we don't believe in the sovereign citizen ideology. So now somewhere in internet space, the sister texts me this stuff. These guys are slandering my name, talking about I'm a thief. And let me tell you something, brother man. I'm not the richest man in the world, but brother Gremillion-El, my pockets ain't hurting, brother man. And anybody that know me know that my pockets is not hurting. So why would I risk my life, risk my career, risk everything behind some little coins that we collected from the Moorish Science Temple of America? Think about this, Moore. Look, I'm gonna be straight up down with you. That the way that my old administration was under Emmanuel Braswell Bay, and I'm not trying to slander the brother, we couldn't even open up bank accounts in New Orleans. So, and we used to be walking around talking about having temple meetings, collecting temple meetings with the damn bag full of quarters. Excuse my language. And when I saw it, it really kind of cut me raw, because if you want to go with the information, go with the information. But don't talk about what lie on me and say I stole money from the Moorish Science Temple of America when I was flipping 95% of the bills from the temple out of my own pocket. Taharka, I know you know what I'm talking about.
You know I know.
So the bottom line is that the reason why we closed the temple down is not because of no money, stealing no money or anything like that. We basically closed the temple down because we were having problems from this side. I was having philosophical problems from this side with my administration. And, you know, I basically, you know, I'm just telling you my story. I drunk the Kool-Aid of this grand body, original grand body, so on and so forth. And all that stuff may be true. It may not be true. But then after a while, I'm like, I'm meeting good people like Taharka Bey. I'm meeting good Moors, Melanin-El brothers, whatever. And all these people under, I was like, so I'm not supposed to talk to these different groups or temples of Moors, the Hopkins Bay family, all because I'm part of a different grand body. So I started having other internal and philosophical differences with the administration that I was under. So I respectfully, and I emphasize respectfully, resigned from the Moorish Science Temple of America. I returned the charter, the warrant of dispensation, whatever they want to call it. I returned that demonstration back to home office respectfully, and I stand down as the Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America in New Orleans. And I started emphasizing on my family, my wife, my children, and basically building them up. And because, man, we took a hit, because it wasn't just that, but it was like sovereign citizen Moors, just like that brother that slandered me, family, who basically, for all intents and purposes, dismantled Temple number 34. So I was in a rock between a hard, and boy, was I stressed out. Fighting my administration on one end, right? Or dealing with my administration on one end for like other personal issues that I had going on with them. And I love them brothers. I don't hate any of those particular brothers. So with that being said, then I had people coming in the temple, what I call nationality crumb card snatchers, who basically come into the temple to get a nationality card so they can get your nationality card and go bounce with Taj and them on a Great Seal and use the nationality card that you issue them so they can do some debauchery with it. So I was like, wait a minute, man, I'm talented. I'm a good person. I'm educated. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gainfully employed, wife gainfully employed. I'm like, man, I'm wasting my time over bums. So with that being said, man, we just did that demo, sent it back off, and we closed the temple. So I thank you, Brother Taharka, for giving me the opportunity to tell my story in regards to sovereign citizen Moors slandering my name, talking about I stole money, you know? And brother, I probably make in a week, in a dual week period, more money than the Moorish Science Temple of America, a local branch temple, will make all year. So I'm good, brother. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to clear my name.
Definitely, brother. I wanted you to get that out, and inshallah, man, I have time to splice that out, and I will upload just that portion so people can go and view that, so they can understand. And the brother's like, you know, the brother on that personal issue that I was like, let him vent, because we need that stuff out right there. And I'm gonna splice that part right there, and I'm gonna upload that, because we're not gonna have somebody. We know what it takes to run a temple. We know financially what it takes. You know, I know, you know, and it's not a cheap feat. And we understand the prophet kept the price. And people say, well, did the prophet think about inflation with 25 cents on the first and 50 cents on the section? Well, one of the things that was reported is that the prophet say don't burden his Moors. That's why he That's why the funds may seem so low. Well, I mean, you can make adjustments, but nevertheless, even with you making adjustments, it's still a nice little bill at the end of the month. It's like running another household financially. It is what it is. So I definitely understand that. Nevertheless, I got my brother Lord Abba come in, but before Abba come in, let me bring my brother Ish. Brother Ish, how you doing, brother?
Peace and blessings, family. How you doing tonight, Brother Tarka?
Brother, I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to you coming on into the chat, brother. I want you to express what unconscious, conscious community issues that you have seen in 2016. I know recently, brother, and I ain't pulling no punches. That's why I said I got Abba here. We're not gonna pull no punches. I know recently there was a brother, and I can't think of the brother name, but I would say his name. I actually inboxed him because he was saying some things as it relates to the Washita Nation, if I'm not mistaken. And the brother respectfully, and I got to give him props for this. I say, Ish would like to have a conversation with you. I say, about the things that you've been saying online. And the brother said, nah, I don't have no issue with Ish. He ain't want no trouble, brother. But what was going on with that conversation, brother?
Well, yes, sir, brother. I think I try to be a respecter of many people, their faiths, their expression of their faiths, and how they carry on about their manners. I think someone's faith is something that's sacred to them. So I'm a respecter of that. Certain people want to impose their particular viewpoints and then drag me into it and then get surprised when I give you the response that you asked for. So in other words, I was tagged into a conversation about some topics of something that is just not correct. It's a false history when you're dealing with this land of Mu and some of the different credence and some of the things that are being taught by the Washita Moors. So you're tagging me into this conversation in order for me to either challenge me on what I teach, knowing that I'm going to differ with that opinion, because you're only specifically tagging my name into it and then asking me to expound on it. So I'm being brought into a conversation I did not ask for to expound upon it. All of a sudden, a different complexion comes. I'm a person, whereas, if I'm walking on this side of the street, you can, we can walk in peace, or you simply walk adjacent, but don't invite me into your conversation and then get surprised when I have to check you on the falsehoods. So in other words, there's part of the creed of the Washita Moors is this belief in, they merge parts of this land of Mu mythology into their mythos and into their history. And they make videos on this, So in doing that, now you're bringing me into this in order to clarify, knowing that my public position has been to challenge the Church Ward family directly and to have them put out a video and denounce the Washita Moors, or else I'm going to continue to be on the Church Ward family's neck. Agrees to put out a video denouncing the Washita Moors, denouncing Ali Muhammad. I honor my word to the Church Ward family. I remove my videos going at their neck for them doing what they did. Now all of a sudden the Washita Moors want around too. Mind you, this is about 7 years later. So my job is to make sure that I'm giving out the most accurate information so that our Moorish minds, our babies' Moorish minds, are not being twisted up and confused with any kind of falsehood as much as possible. Not as long as I'm around. So if I'm around, I don't feel like it's comfortable to be teaching Moorish babies in their minds about some mythical land of Mu created by some mistranslation by Le Plongeon and these other white Caucasian people selling this mythical history, and it's confusing our babies' minds. If we know better, we're responsible for what we know. So if I know what the history is and you're inviting me into this conversation, I'm going to stand upon that truth regardless to whom or what. So that's really what you were saying, brother. It was me representing something and standing upon the truth as I know it and willing to defend that truth. If you are talking all this mess, then you face off with me as a man. You understand? So I'm asking you, let's have this conversation. Certain claims that you represent this organization. How about this? You represent your organization. I represent my organization, and we simply talk as men. No disrespect. I don't get into the slander shit, because that's really the order of the day in 2016 was slander shit. So they disregarded all scholarship. So this is no slander shit going on. How about just me and you one-on-one, man to man, no cursing, no disrespect. We just go ahead and we have this conversation. And he chose not to have that conversation as a man. I'm not a bully. If you choose not to face off with me, I'll simply go ahead and I keep it moving. So that's really what you witnessed, brother.
Well, brother Ish, I would love to have a show dedicated to the topic. I would love to search the internet and find somebody who represents that school of thought that is willing to have a conversation. Why do I want to do that? Because what I really want to do is somehow bring healthy debates and conversation, because you mentioned something that I like. You said, there'll be no slander, there'll be no disrespect, there'll be no cursing, and we should be able to have healthy conversations. You feel what I'm saying? And get
Correct.
to the truth. If you are so grounded in your truth, then let's talk about it. Bring
Correct.
your best scholar and let's talk about it. We don't have to cuss each other out. We don't have to go with that Sinetta Circus stuff. Let's do a Moorish, dignified conversation, and Moorish World TV will host it. Period.
And that's the whole key, brother. We can be passionate, and we can show the love. We can show the warrior spirit. We can show all of that. We don't have to show the other side of the ignorant side of it either. But we can have just as much love, passion, and stand upon the truth as we know it, and to show and prove and present our scholarship in that way. And that's what men do.
Facts. And that's what I wanted to present to the brothers from the Canaan Land faction of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I wanted them to be able to come on here and go toe to toe with scholarship. But all we got was cursed out and make me think about, is my passport still, let me check, do I need another stamp on it? It makes you start thinking stuff,
Sure.
But nonetheless, my brother, so if you know somebody who want to talk about that conversation, let's talk about it.
And I want to thank you, you and Ali's men and what Moorish World is doing, even on a show like this tonight. That's being very responsible. That's taking a form of leadership to say, you know what, the community is in disarray right now. Somebody has to take the point and put things back in order, and then deal with the problem, and then deal with tangible solutions. So you taking the point of having a platform like that, that's a very responsible thing to do, brother. What were you about to say? I'm sorry.
In the years to come, we are going to eradicate, listen to me, we are going to eradicate this unconscious conscious community. They have done nothing for the people. They brag about 20-year track record, but have produced nothing. We are going to eradicate them. I'm telling you. And listen, just like I said, that when I go to cities and we are going to do the analysis on how to build, I've done the analysis on these people, on my brothers, on these other platforms that's stroking each other's ego. I've done the analysis. And although you got over 50,000 subscribers, you can't get over $8,000 for a bus. 50,000 people give you $1. Guess what? That's $50,000. That means you don't have 50,000 supporters. You have 50,000 people that's trying to wait for the next drama. You have only 2% of your 100,000 followers on your network, on your platform, that really have some form of support for you. And those are the ones that are keeping hope alive. Peace out to Jesse Jackson. They hope that you will go back to the old you.
You know that you officially become the carcass community and no longer the conscious community when I witnessed what I saw tonight. I took my daughter out to go see the movie Fences, and by the time I came back, you have DJ Vlad showing the whole SETI and Dr. Umar Johnson on his page.
You see?
So DJ Vlad, he has hatred, and he most certainly doesn't have love for Sarah Suit and SETI, but yet he's the person who's going to make sure that he puts it on his website in order to ferment. So that made me go to my forum and erase anything that was dealing with the Umar SETI situation, because I'm now seeing that there are Europeans that are monetizing our knowledge and information now. There are Europeans that try to come among us as fair seeming and friends of ours, but yet they are the person who is hijacking our own hatred for one another. But see, that was the mistake that Moors made in Spain themselves. It was the European Jews like a Vlad that would come and then monetize and be in control of the money while Moors are fighting one another. And it's the same exact formula of what's taking place today. He doesn't love Seti. He doesn't love Umar. He'd rather see both of them dead and them locked into their passion and locked into battle as two lions will do, because we're all brothers and we're all lions and we're in the grasslands fighting. This beast will sit here and make sure that he is going to not only plot the death of both of them, but he'll create the environment so the government can kill both of them, and in the long term, kill all of us. So I never lose focus of who the damn devil is. And I understand that once they have hijacked that energy in that situation and getting paid for it, you're officially the carcass community.
Facts. And this is the thing in a nutshell. And I'm gonna say this before I go to my brother Lord Abba. Brother, we have to be aware. I'm doing some research right now on how to spot the double agent, how to spot the COINTEL. The COINTEL one is not the one that you will obviously point out. The COINTEL one is the one that 9 times out of 10 you won't be able to point out. But there's some special characteristics. There's some special characteristics that they look for when they get somebody to flip. And guess what? There's a group within the unconscious community, i.e. the carcass community, that fits the bill. With that being said, brother Lord Abba, are you there, my brother?
Islam. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you well, brother. Everybody on this has had some type of stuff going on this year with the unconscious conscious community, or as my brother Ish say, the carcass community. Brother, what has this community, unconscious conscious community, the UCC? What has the UCC brought to the table today?
Oh, that was a good one, brother. That was a good one. First, let me start by saying I rise, giving all praise to Allah and the highest of honors to His holy and divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to the forerunner, Marcus Garvey. I give honors to all true and divine prophets, all freedom fighters and leaders who were sent us to the West. And I give honors to each and every last one of you, because when man honors man, he honors his father, God, Allah. Islam. Now, this conscious community. This conscious community has been a pariah. It has been an absolute pariah on the consciousness of those whom are awakening. You have people in wake of all of these different police killings, and I mean, they're just waking up. I see it in my own city. I couldn't even get a conversation a few years ago with people, and now some of these people are in the streets having conscious discussions. People are waking up. So in doing this, they're going to attract to platforms where consciousness, quote unquote, is the centerpiece. And what wound up happening and what's happening as we speak is that they see this not so conscious community, and it feeds into their lower selves. It feeds into it. And instead of people coming to learn, they get sucked up in the very thing that they were trying to pull themselves away from in the get-go, the reality TV, the loving basketball type of the Housewives of Atlanta. This is what we're seeing on these conscious networks. In the Moorish movement, we see a lot of this same type of stuff going on. I seen the post with brother Gremillion-El. I actually commented on that post in defense of my brother. And I've faced the same exact stuff. You know, I put out a video on for Taj Tariq Bey, and it was titled "Stop Lying to the People." And you know, I was called all type of names and slandered, and people called me a slanderer. Like, you know, look up the definition of slander before you accuse me. I said nothing disrespectful to this man at all. Now you got brothers just all over the internet posting up a bunch of crazy stuff. And what's happening is that they're losing their grip on their falsehood. You see, they wield that falsehood as a scepter. I've sat down with some of these sovereign citizen Moors that claim that they travel here and they've done battle with the FBI and they help people do this and they help people do that, never producing one document, not one, to back up their claims. And so these two aspects, just for us Moorish American Muslims and members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and those who are not but are sympathizers and whom I say are still doing Prophet Noble Drew Ali's works by educating or re-educating the people about what Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought, we must step up. We must step up and quell. I believe it is our duty to quell the fire on the one hand and then raise heaven on another hand. That's our duty now. People are looking for greater light and it cannot be found there. They're being, like that movie says, drag me to hell. They're being dragged to hell. Consciousness is, as it's called, is a sideshow. It's like the rainbow. The rainbow is one of the most powerful and beautiful symbols in nature. It is a representation of nature itself, the natural tones in the spectrum. And yet it is used by a group of people that, religious organizations, religions in general, will call sinful and immoral. This is the same thing that's going on with consciousness right now. So as the rainbow, a powerful symbol, has now come to represent something immoral in the eyes of most of the world, so has consciousness become the same exact way. And I believe, Moors, I believe that it's on us. I truly believe that. Brothers like Ish, powerful scholarship, and you know he's a Moor. He'll let you know he's a Moor. And we may clash on certain little things, but you brothers, at the end of the day, and when somebody step up with some pseudo stuff, we're gonna be back to back with them sharpened swords. You know, and that's what intellectuals are supposed to do within their respective schools of thought. And I want to, you know, send a message out to all the brothers of the Moorish Science Temple of America, because the Quran of Mecca, to where we draw our power and authority, states in Surah 49 ayat 10 that the believers are but brothers. So make reconciliation between your brothers and fear Allah, that you may receive mercy. And that's the basis of the message that I want to get out. That if we as Moorish American Muslims put that old ancient hatred aside that was caused by men before us, we take this whole thing over. Because at the end of the day, we got a doctrine that we can stand on from a historical perspective, a philosophical perspective, and a religious perspective. Forgive me, but I say it's impregnable. It can't be touched. And I haven't seen no one disprove what I said yet. So that's the message that I bring here today. All is not lost for consciousness. It's just time for the right people to step up. And with that, I say peace.
And peace, my brother. And you absolutely are right. My thing is, we have to come together and eradicate this unconscious nonsense. We need to eradicate it. We need to shut it down. We need to shut it down. Like I said, Brother Divine Prospect, he goes and hit my page at the request of Sinetta because he put out a video telling people to share, and now he don't want people to see when it makes him look bad. Well, stop doing bad stuff and you won't look bad. How about that? All those that want to challenge the judge with jurisdiction, stop selling dope. Stop breaking the law. And you ain't got to worry about jurisdiction. And if you so happen to get caught up in such a way that it's not your fault, then we rally around and we show you what unity do. But most of the time, everybody that wants to challenge some form of jurisdiction, every time somebody wants to challenge anything, they are 9 times out of 10 that I've seen, can't speak with nobody else, was in the wrong. Stop selling dope. How about that? Hold on, family. Got a call. Let's see what we got on here. Peace and love, family. Who I'm speaking with?
This is the Melanin.
Hey, family. Hold on. Hold up. I want y'all to stop the presses. We have a queen in the house, and y'all gonna sit back and listen. We have Sister Melanin Sutek in the building. She's on the phone, sister. Thank you for calling. Let me tell you, you are 101 caller. You get it now, flag. You are the first sister to come in and stand on your square and to represent for our queens out there. So, sister, you can take it away. Say what you need to say. The topic is the unconscious conscious community. No one gets a pass. I've seen shots being thrown at you that was coming from someone that called themselves conscious, but they was not conscious. You know what I'm saying? I've seen shots come at me from people that call themselves conscious. They were not conscious, and they still not conscious. So what we're saying is that today we have to eradicate this unconscious conscious community. And it starts right here. We should go into 2017 not even supporting this nonsense, not even giving it another chance. Me, I'm not giving these platforms a chance to try to sneak and secret take me and then twist it, chop it, and screw it, and then try to dirty up my name like Europeans do. So, sister, the floor is yours. Let the people know who you are. Come on in the chat.
I'm Sister Melanin Sutek. I do commentary on what's going on in the conscious community. I give my stance on my perception of what's going on, and I do my best to be fair and stand on truth and not speak from an aspect of favoritism and who I like, but to stand on truth, because a lot of people will speak according to who they like the most, and the battle of people following versus this following it. So, it's just a lot of chaos going on right now, but it starts from the leadership, and then also we have to hold the people accountable, because we're so immersed in drama and negativity that I feel that we allow our leaders or our supposed leaders to conduct themselves in the manner that they do. In the video that I made, I told them that they could take etiquette classes. The men that are on the front line need to take etiquette classes from the Nation of Islam. And the reason why I said that is because I said no matter what the nation has been through, nobody has ever stepped forth to condemn one of their brothers. So they have discipline and they have code of conduct and ethics. So, a lot of brothers sit back because I guess they're spiritual or free beings or whatever they are. We don't have no rules and regulations. So if we're going to take this conscious community serious, we need to have rules and regulations on how one is to conduct themselves and who is a part of it. Because anybody can chime in and say, yeah, I'm a part of the conscious community, when we don't really know what that means. There is no real physical building. There's no board. There's no anything that's going on. It's just a group of people that are not really associated with a real organization. So they just cling on to this whole notion of I'm a part of the conscious community, which is an imaginary imaginary community. Now, what I feel is everything starts from the guru, from the person who really got the conscious community started off, and that's Brother Sarnetta. And I'm not calling him out in a bad way. What I'm saying is that people are going to follow the tone of his platform. People that want to come up is going to study his tactics and his methods, because they want to be the next YouTube famous, YouTube celebrity, or they want to be the next lecturer coming up. So they're studying the people that he put on the platform and exposed to see how people, they basically studying Sarnetta. So what Sarnetta needs to do, because he is the guru, and that's a high title to carry, and we can't lie that he is the founder or one of the founders of this movement. So he has to understand a great deal of responsibility that is bestowed upon him by default because of what he started. So I would have to say, if one son that had changed how he conducts himself and how he allowed the people that is a part of the House of Consciousness to conduct themselves, a great change is bound to happen. But when you if the leaders or the people who are in charge let things get out of control, the people and everything is just going to be chaotic, and there's not going to be no resolution. And it's going to be dysfunction, and it's going to be people choosing sides and people choosing who their favorites are. But when that's not the goal is to listen to what the messenger has to deliver. Everything is about the information. So, we just got to be careful of who we consider to be, our role models. And, what is the criteria of a leader? Just because somebody comes on and voices their opinion and things like that, I think because Black people have lacked leadership for so long, and we don't truly understand what nationhood is, we're pretty much guessing and going along with the punches as opposed to really sitting down and taking it serious, because I feel we need a criteria. We need to have a voting system. We need to really make the conscious community an organization and making it official, making it a corporation, making it a governed body. I don't know, I just feel like in 2017, Sonetta needs to take his platform and anybody who's associated with him or anybody who wants to be a part of this community, without being involved inside of the community, we all need to step up our game and how we're going to contribute to our liberation. What we see going on right now is a bunch of men that's ran by egos. And because there's no elders or a board or an overseer over them, their egos are getting out of control and they want to bang on their chest. And I feel a lot of the masculine energy or the aggression is being misguided, and it's going towards another brother when we need to be, brothers need to be allies to one another. But everybody's so starstruck or wanting to be Michael Jordan in the game that they don't want to acknowledge their teammates. So a lot of people are showboating. If a certain brother or a certain sister reach a pinnacle when it comes to a following, you should always come back to the community and realize who else is putting in the work and how can I get them on a ticket with me so it can be more information available to the people. A lot of people feel, from my observation, feel like I want it to be all about me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that makes me question your intentions. Are you here for the people, or are you here to get some type to become a celebrity through the pro-Black community? Are you a vulture over vulnerable, misguided people? And that's when Black devils come into play, or this terminology of who's a Black devil and what does a Black devil have to come into play, because we have to call it out how we see it, because we can't sit here and allow this conditioning to continuously happen, that knowing that our people are emotionally, spiritually, and mentally vulnerable, and we're seeking liberation, we're seeking understanding, we're seeking, how can we save ourselves? Because we trust these people that are on the forefront when they're not really here for us. So therefore, we're being used as nothing but cash cows and opportunity for fame, and it's not really about the people. So they're just using us, do whatever they want to do for their selfish needs and not for the people. There's a lot of immaturity going on, and while the Black men is going up against each other, they're not keeping in mind how they're leaving the Black woman and the Black child vulnerable. I think the first thing we need to discuss is nationality. I've been talking for a long time about, the conscious community shun a lot of brothers and sisters in school of thought, but I think it's time for the Moors to step up, or for the people to have an openness to the Moors and what you have to offer us, such as civic class, getting more involved in politics and things like that. Because I've been watching and studying the Moors. Now, I don't profess or claim to be a Moor, but I do see the value in the information. I feel y'all have a great deal of things that will help us get to the next level. I think each and every group has something to offer and to contribute to the whole, because that should be the focus, is uplifting and getting our people to the next level. And so I just hope to forget what they heard through other people about the Moors, or even when it comes down to the history, they don't like how the histories of the Black Moors, and if that doesn't resonate with them, they write off, the brothers that come from the Moorish Science Temple because of the stuff that they have read, and I understand when they feel like y'all are traitors or was involved with Europeans or intermingling with them. For whatever, that's the past. And we have to understand that it was a bunch of melanated nations that contribute to the defeat of our people here in America. So I think we need to get over the past and start judging brothers and sisters and organizations to what they're doing now and how they want to contribute. Because if you guys have an open heart and your intentions is pure for the people, I think everybody should give every group, no matter what religion or anything, a chance and an opportunity to get on this platform without a biased mentality. You know, because people are so gung-ho on being black, or how y'all say black is being definitely, like, that's neither here or there. It's about the information. And I feel the Moors are not getting a fair shake when it comes to this community, because so many people try to donate, throw dirt on the Moors and the organization itself.
What's this? This is a problem. This is one of the problems, and I appreciate you. I appreciate the grace in which you just said that. But the Moors need to step up to the plate. The Moors we can't let them off either, sis, because everywhere that a Moor is teaching false civics, there's 5 that know true civics. Everywhere there's a Moor that's teaching about putting paper plates on a car, there's 5 Moors that know the difference. But these Moors need to step up on the front line and stop playing. You see, we have Moors that are very versed in all topics, very charismatic, just ready to rock and roll in their own little circles and groups, but they won't take it to the forefront. So I'm getting them on. I'm on them, sis. But sis, I got a question for you. When do we say enough is enough and stop giving these conscious guys these chances? When do we say enough is enough? You know, 1 minute this guy apologizes and say, well, I'm sorry. The next minute he goes on another rant and talk about your mother sucked my this, you know, and then he goes on another rant of apology, and then he goes and pick another one and then start talking about he gonna smack this, and then say enough is enough and begin to instruct or inspire people to leave these people alone and move on to the builders of the people and the builders of the community. At some point, we got to just break away and teach people to break away. What you had to say to that?
It's hard to break away because until somebody can offer us a better plan and opportunity to evolve as a nation, we're going to stick with what we know. And because we haven't, like you said, if more step up to the plate and deliver more information and stuff like that, and have people from the community or just black people in general gravitate to y'all, that's what y'all gonna have to do. But until then, Sarnetta's Black News 102, Sarnetta TV got this whole thing on smash, because right now, as an outsider looking in, or as a third party looking in, outside of myself, I would have to say Sarnetta is the only one who is consistent on delivering information, okay? Whether if you want to say it's pseudo, whether you want to say it's this, whether you want to say it's that, he is continuously pumping out information. He's continuously pumping out entertainment to keep the people engaged. So this goes back to, you know, you gotta, what are the boards going to offer to the people? How are y'all going to pull in other people, like other people on Sarnetta's platform, to, you know, so the conscious community can start getting comfortable with the Moors.
Absolutely.
You know, because it's a negative, because of all of the turmoil that has transpired throughout time and the beefing, a lot of people have a nasty taste in their mouth when it comes to the Moor. They don't even want to give y'all opportunity. So I think the Moors have to stand back and really think strategically, how can we get the Negro, black, and colored to come this way? To accept and to embrace the importance of nationality and nationhood.
Yeah, sis. Let me tell you something, sis. Pay attention to the movement. We making it happen as you speak. It's all right. It's all right. I'm telling you, this year has been a wonderful year. April the 10th, smack fire out of some and put fire in others. So, are you familiar? The debate of April 10th.
You said, will I be at the debate?
No, were you familiar with the debate with Brother Sharif and Reggie? Because that was a turning point for the Moors. so to say. Were you familiar? Did you get a chance to see that debate?
Yes, I was there personally. You was in the first or second row.
Come on, Sute. Come on, man, Sute. I'll tell everybody. Hey, see, I'm glad that you said that, because most people think I just be acting. Man, this is my personality. But what you think about the April the 10th debate?
Well, Brother Sharif Bey definitely brought it to Brother Reggie and smashed him on his own turf. I believe the Moors won just by sheer of who came and supported. You know, all these pro-black people want to say this, that, and the third, but when they put out the call, when Reggie put out the call, nobody showed up. It was looking pretty empty on the Negro, black, and colored side. So I'll have to say the Moors won by default just by showing unity.
Yes.
And discipline. Because I heard some heckling from your side, but it wasn't that bad or childish. You know, sometimes something moves you and you want to say something. So the difference between, you know, heckling and just saying something when something resonates with you and you want to be in agreement, like, yeah, that's right, you know, something like that, like the Black Hebrew Israelites, okay? Something moves you, truth come around, and you want the people to hear that. So, you know, you make some type of gesture. Sharif definitely stayed on topic. Nobody even on the pro-black side, because I was talking to a lot of brothers and sisters on that side, they didn't really follow or understand what the heck Reggie was talking about. And still to this point, I don't know what he was talking about. And see, that's sad, because I feel like the brother is an intelligent brother.
That's what I say.
But he's just highly emotional. He's also another brother who is supposed to be the elder or big brother. He also, as well as a lot of other brothers in this movement, needs an etiquette class. Maybe he needs to sit on a few. I know in the NOI they have like female meetings and male meetings. I think he should open himself up to the Nation of Islam and learn some discipline.
Yeah, and you know what? I told him personally, I say, brother, when you were teaching the Medunecha, when you was going to the museums, that was amazing. I say, brother, why don't you stick with that and teaching? Debating is not your thing. It's not your thing. But since anything in close, I'm gonna get a few others on. Since I would love to invite you on the show. I don't know if you've been paying attention. We got this movement rolling, and we're gonna take this around the country. And I'm gonna put some fire underneath some Moors so we can really get this thing rolling. Somebody asked me in the chat to ask you about do you know anything familiar about something, Nicolette or something?
Nicolette?
What was that? I'm not familiar with it. So if somebody said ask her about Nicolette.
Who is? Oh, she got Niglets from Tony. Oh, Niglets?
I guess that's what it is. Okay.
Okay, here we go. I said that on Brother Sarnetta's live stream along with Brother Foley. The topic was about, you know, people who want to.
Oh, he said ask her. I'm sorry, sis. He said ask her why you call our children Niglets.
I didn't call our children niggas. I was referring to teenagers who are growing up to be niggas. That's going to be a future problem to our nation. If we can't identify now people in their adolescent or teenage years, we need to understand how the adults that are indulging in bad behavior, how they're molding the mind of our future representatives. So I was just using that word just as a phrase to describe the bad behavior I'm seeing from our youth. Because when we get upset, black people in the pro-black community act like they don't use the word nigga. When we try to separate ourselves from mentally ill, mentally disturbed black people, we call them niggers or other harsh words, the brain dead or zombies. So I was just using this terminology just as a form of separation. These are things that are greatly needed to be addressed. They're more concerned about me using the word niglet as opposed to these brain dead Negroes who are the manufacturing center of these future degenerates that's going to be the enemy of our children. Now, we got to understand, not only is the European and everybody and other nations against us, we have to understand that it's people that look just like us that are against us too. That's why it's important for us to nationalize ourselves so we know who's in alignment with us and who's against us.
Oh, okay, I got you. And last question. Somebody said, did you create the term?
No, actually, a lot of people, I'm looking in the chat saying I got the word niglet from Tommy Sotomayor. Actually, it just came off the top of my head. Now, subconsciously, did I hear it somewhere else? I don't know, but at that moment, that's the first thing that popped into my mind to describe younger kids who are conducting themselves like niggas.
Well, I was on Brother Polite platform last night, and Brother Polite said he's going on an N-word fast. I think he said 3 months, and then he dropped it down to 21 days. So I encourage everybody to try to go on an N-word fast. I think it's a good thing.
I mean, I don't think the word per se is the problem. What we're doing is we're talking about a conduct, and we use the word nigga like a noun. It's a person, place, or thing. So until we can find other ways to describe this bad behavior, I don't think we would use the term, well, within the quote-unquote conscious community, we would not use the word nigga, because from my understanding and from my experience along this journey, the word nigga is used to describe degenerate black people.
Well,
that's the context of how I use the word nigga.
Right. Well, I'm more of an open-minded type of person. I don't use those terminologies, but I get it. You know, I mean, I had to grow to that point. You know, I had to be able to create some type of patience within my psyche, and not even. I'm past that, but nevertheless, I get it. You know, and I would never ever try to condemn anybody for their expression of how they feel, because you got to identify what you see, and your perception becomes your reality. But sister, in closing, I want to get somebody else on, but anything else in closing, sister? Like I said, I would love to bring you on the platform with a topic to go in, just you and I one-on-one one of these days.
Okay, that would be great. I guess in closing, continue to do your thing. Expose our nation to what it is the Moors have to offer, because you guys do not get a fair shake because of other people and their experience, or for what they've read manipulates the mind of other people. So, you know, I want just Allah to continue to bless y'all good men, and, you know, just remain disciplined, and everything you see that's going on in the conscious community, do your best to fight that negative energy, and people who's trying to invoke the worst out of you all. So all I can say is just remain disciplined, remain a man.
Absolutely.
The sisters need to see more as men and kings and the things that we talk about, because right now what's happening, we're seeing a lot of effeminate men. So maybe it's the same.
Sister, you gonna get, I'm telling you, they go come for you. They gonna come for you, and they gonna come for me tomorrow. There's gonna be videos up. Be careful.
I already know, bro.
Well, peace and love, sis. Thank you. And I will be reaching out for you this coming January. See if we can throw something together to teach the people. And follow the sister on Facebook, because she sure enough gives it up. I'll be right in the chat checking you out every chance I get. You're doing a wonderful work, sis. And I look forward to the next presentation, Facebook Live. Thank you.
Thank you. Peace and love.
Peace and love. All right, that sister right there, she always got some inspiring, motivating words. Let's go down the line real quick. Ask my brother D Red as we gonna wrap it up. But D Red, you've been sitting there for a little bit, brother. What's going on in your mind? Talk to me, brother. Let's wrap it up and take it all through. Take it through the whole line and wrap it up. Are you still there, my brother? Is Ali Bey still there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. You know, we've been talking on the sidelines, on the side chat, man. I just have to say respect to the sister. Like, you know, I agree with Brother Ish. You know, we were talking. She did very well in expressing her point of view. But I just have to say, from my experience, and I've been watching, you know, the videos and the different personalities coming out of the House of Consciousness over 125th. I've been watching that stuff for a long time as well. And I just have to say, man, I personally have no desire to work with, to be a part of, to include them in anything that I'm doing. I think that there's nothing wrong with separation. I think sometimes it's the healthiest thing for a relationship, especially if it's toxic, is for people to separate as opposed to continue to stick around each other. Yes, yeah, bro.
I want to catch that thought real quick, and you know how I get down sometimes. Brother, I have reached that same point that once you record me secretly 3 times, man, it's a wrap. I don't know how I let it. And people ask me, why are you still dealing with it? Man, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? One love to my brother Polite. I know people may disagree with Brother Polite, but Brother Polite always been up and up, straight up with me. Anything that I reach out to the brother, the brother come through, you know. So anybody beef with Brother Polite, that's your personal beef. That's my brother. He's carried it like a brother with me. I can't speak about nobody else. But now this other guy, I'm gonna let you go, Ali, baby. Now this other guy, Sinetta, brother, I gave this guy the benefit of the doubt so we can be brothers, so we can show that Moors and brothers that do not agree with Moors can come together. And everybody questioned it. And this brother gonna tell me he really taping me? And he gonna use it as because I got a video up, and he gonna use that as if I don't take a video down, he gonna use that to expose me. As if
you know something, man.
To expose, brother, like you just said, brother, separation is good.
Separation is great for certain situations, man. We can't, I mean, you know, look, that's why they build jails and prisons, because sometimes you gotta separate the degenerate savages from the rest of the population. And the bottom line is, man, when people tell you who they are, when they show you who they are, you should believe it. And you know, my father used to say, man, I could see you clear as day. I could see you as clear as day. And as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to that guy, I can see him as clear as day. I don't need to continue to have conversations with him. I don't need to continue to watch his videos. I don't need to see how he constantly and consistently stirs up the division within the so-called black community, you know, black conscious community and so forth. He's responsible for that. He's single-handedly responsible for that. And anybody who can't see that is insane. There's nothing there for me. And period, point blank. I'm sorry.
Brother, you hear what I said? He says, I got a recording of you. If you don't take the video down, I'm going to
whatever, let him put it out.
Brother, you see how low that is?
It's very low. But this is what I'm saying. When somebody tells you who they are, your best bet is to believe them. That's it. He done showed who he is on a number of occasions, man. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out what kind of cat this dude is, man. I know, I can see him.
But you know what happened, though? What happened to me, Ali Bey? I actually like the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
Listen, no.
Why? What is there to like?
Listen, I'm a type of guy, man, that I can admire a part of a person, but I don't have to admire the whole thing. And so I like the brother at some point for what he did from the corner to making information popular until it was adulterated. And I like that. And I was like, wow, man, this is an amazing thing. I go for that because I don't even watch TV. And I didn't watch TV when I started watching the Sharif tapes, the Phil Valentine. I begin and see Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches us that a wise man do not shield himself. You know what I mean? For reputational fame. You know what I mean? So I'm not even shielding myself to say, man, I kind of like the guy at some point. But man, the brother took this liking that I had for the brother and he abused it. You understand what I'm saying? Abused it to the point, man, that I was gassing up at the Shell station, man, about to hit 95.
I remember.
Yeah, man. So, but I've learned, and everybody that loved me, my friends and my brothers, would say, man, leave that guy alone, man. Leave that guy alone. And guess what? I said, no, he all right, he good. And then just because I won't take a video down, you didn't secretly take me like the Europeans do. That's how Europeans do. If you don't do this, I got this on you. Come on, man, that's insane. But go ahead, Ali Bey. Wrap it up, my brother. So my brother Lord Abba can come in. Then we're gonna spring right around the Ishmael and my brother Dollar, and we're gonna keep it moving.
Yes, indeed, man. So basically, I'm finished, man. I just wanted to express that, man. I just want to make it clear. I have nothing to do. Never had anything to do. Born and raised in Harlem. It never had anything to do with any of that stuff over there, and I don't even want anybody to think that I do. I don't want to be associated with that on any on any level, any way, shape, form, or fashion. Period. That's just the bottom line. I've told that to Reggie. You know, it's so funny because I've had a number of dialogues with Reggie either through social media or what have you, and he talk about how can we work together on this, that, and the third. I'd have no desire to work with you or anybody over there on anything. So I just gotta be honest, man. The same thing happened one time. Brother Wade-El and I were on the phone with Polite and Sarnetta, and Polite was asking us, is there anything that we could work with Brother Ali Muhammad on? I expressed the same thing there. I was like, nah. I said, because the bottom line is at that particular point, and I don't know what he's doing now, but at that particular point, he was pushing the sovereign citizen stuff real, you know, those sovereign citizen type ideologies real hard. And so Polite is like, there's got to be something that y'all could unify. I'm like, no. No, we unify with people who are of like mind, who are thinking the same way, who are interested in the same things and trying to go in the same direction we're trying to go in. I'm not trying to change everybody and fix the world. That's stupid, man. Like I said in the side chat, greater men than us have come and tried to unify the whole so-called black race, and it didn't work.
Exactly, and we need to stick with our tribes and stick with our agenda of trying to overcome this oppression. We don't have to agree on everything, but we got to stick with our agenda to overcome this oppression. And you can do yours with your group, I can do mine with my group, and guess what? Well, we can fight at the top and lose it all again like before, if that's what you want to do. You know what I mean? But with that being said, brother, let me bring Lord Abba. And Lord Abba, are you there?
Islam, I'm here,
Abba.
beloved.
Lord Abba, coming soon, I have a series coming. And I was thinking of you when I created this series, not only you, but you and quite other influential brothers. I got a series coming, Who Is? And I did it first with Brother Polite. That was the test run. You know, Brother Polite, he can dodge and weave though, you know. But it turned out to be a pretty much good interview. But I want to do an interview, and the interview is basically not to make you dodge and weave by any stretch of imagination, but to let people know who Lord Abba is. Where did Lord Abba come from? When did you enter into the information of wherever you started to, and I don't want to give nothing away, wherever you started to where you're at, because I think it's time now that we begin to document our leaders, our friends, our brothers and sisters as a biography on these platforms so we can let people know who they're talking to. So I want to do one called Who is Lord Abba? Who is Ishmael Bey? Who is Sharif Bey? Who is this? Who is that? And throughout 2017, that's what I want to do. And brother, you're one of the first names that came to my mind after I did Polite, due to the fact that you stay on the front line as it relates to more science. Whether people agree, disagree, or whatever, you stay on some sort of front line. And people don't even know who you are as the personal Lord Abba. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
definitely.
That. So I would like to document that if you don't mind, my brother.
Oh man, I would love that. I don't do the dodging and weaving.
No. I was saying,
No. Listen. Let me say, I absorb the blows.
Yeah.
I absorb the blows. I actually love the questions.
But brother, and it's not to throw anybody under the bus. As you can see with the brother Polite, he invited all the questions and let them go. It's not to throw anybody under the bus. It's so people can know who they're talking to. Because what they might see is a yelling Tahaka Bay. They don't know Tahaka Bay journey. They might think I started this 3 years ago. And I'm just yelling trying to be like Sarnetta. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They don't know.
Definitely.
So they may think the Abba that they see on Facebook is Lord Abba. They don't know that you're a loving father. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that you struggle to try to uplift your people on a daily basis. They might think you understand what I'm saying? So we need to let all of this out and display who we are. And that's what we have to do, brother. And I invite you to do that. But in closing, brother, give us something in closing for this UCC.
Definitely. I mean, look, man. First, I would love that. Please. I'll give you a couple questions to ask. The toughest questions that I could possibly think of to ask myself that I think other people would think of to ask me, because I love answering questions. But in closing, I want to say this, and it stems from something the sister Melanin Sutek said. Islam, sister, shout out, peace. Ashe, Hotep. But we don't need to have a dependency on Sarnetta TV or that platform.
Facts.
If you look at the stories of all of the great leaders and all of the great men, it starts with that individual, and that individual catches the ear of another individual, and then that individual go and catch the ear of two more. It's almost like a Fibonacci sequence, and you start to create this logo rhythm of truth. This is how every cult or every religion was born. You know, our lessons, you know, the prophet is teaching us about how in 20 years the religion of Islam spread throughout the land with no person of royal rank to help in its establishment and spread. And I think, and I would like to use myself as an example if I can. If you remain steadfast in the truth and the facts, it doesn't matter what nobody else says. It doesn't matter how popular the wrong or the negative is, if what you're standing on is fact and you get that confirmation. So we don't need a platform that's divisive for us to lean on. Let's just start shifting our consciousness to the channels where the information that is uplifting is being displayed. The answers to our problems are simple. They're very, very simple. But Noble Drew Ali said I had to go around my elbow just to get to my thumb to bring you do what I wanted to do for you in this government. I'm paraphrasing allegedly.
That's right.
You know, now that I looked that term up, it's an old Southern catechism that's said that you take something that's simple and you do it difficult. You know, so it's like, okay, this is simple. You know, how did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? Answer: by teaching them to be themselves. This is why this whole UCC and all of this sovereignty stuff is created in the first place, because we believe we are burdened with such a heavy mental shackle that we believe that it will take 100 or 200 years for us to get out of it. We don't believe that if we can change our hearts to a whole different frequency and a whole different vibration, we can change our conditions overnight. And so what we do is we attract ourselves to the people that really cater to our fears and our insecurities. We feel powerless, and we feel that the talking heads that can articulate the very, grievances that we have better than they can, we feel that they are our prophets. And so we go to these people and we think that we have to have these people. My message, and I don't want to be long with it, stay steadfast in the proof. We got Moorish scientists amongst us now. And yeah, we got some in-house rumblings going on. That's with any organization. But at the end of the day, I know already, I don't care. It's Moors that don't like me. They don't like me at all. But I know for a fact, if you ask me the question, if there was a debate going on and you had to exclude yourself from that debate and put somebody else in your shoes, who would it be? I'm going to say that Moor's name. I don't care if he doesn't like me or she. I'm going to say, so I feel that we got it. Let's get out there and just keep showing and proving. Not just showing and proving the lessons, but demonstrating that we are Muslims. That's all we got to do. Look at this, Brother Tahaka. Look at the slander that you have received. It's the slander that I've been receiving for the past 5-6 years. My brother Gremillion-El told me, because me and Gremillion-El did battle. He said, you know what, brother? I watched you. I watched these guys from Merakush, the conscious community, the Moorish Science Temple of America crucify you. He said this was all of 2012. I watched them crucify. He never stooped. You never said a curse word. I mean, you never stooped to the level and gave them any light of day. You just blocked them and kept on teaching and kept on moving. And this is how we're supposed to demonstrate. This is how we're supposed to demonstrate. So let's just keep demonstrating as Muslims. Let's sit that light on top of the hill and attract all the people to this Moorish movement. With that, I say peace.
Peace.
Hey, what? Hey, hey, what to do? Can you hear me?
Yeah, my brother D-Red, come on in, brother.
I want to piggyback on Abba. What's up, Abba, man? What's going on?
Oh, Islam, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I want to piggyback on him. Elijah Muhammad said, you know what I'm saying? You offer a clean cup of water, dirty cup of water. Let the people choose. Well, the movement being Taharka, that's what when Taharka was on our show. Shout out to my boy Gadaya. You know what I'm saying? When he was on our show, we had to think doers versus talkers. We had people on the program. We tried to get Abba on there, but Abba was busy. You know what I'm saying? But the show was about doers versus talkers. The whole paradigm shift is going to be doers. The doers are going to take over the whole community. It's time out for all these lip wrestlers. It's time out for that. It's time out for them dudes that signed $1 million contract with Bump A Lot Records. It's time out for that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a whole paradigm shift. If you ain't got a program, if you ain't got your boots on the ground, if you ain't doing nothing for the people, it's time out for you. You had your run. You know what I'm saying? It's time to do like Nas, destroy the whole conscious community, then rebuild the whole conscious community. But when we rebuild it, we're gonna have rites of passage. When we rebuild it, if you don't have no proof of service in the community, you can't teach nothing. You can't talk about nothing. You can't speak about nothing. We don't want to hear nothing you got to say, because what ends up happening is these people have come out of nowhere that don't do nothing, that ain't done nothing. And all of a sudden they're a leader of who, of what? They communities be struggling. Don't have no service for the people in their community. Don't even care about the people in the community. As a matter of fact, the people in their community don't even know them. I got a homeboy that live. I ain't gonna say his name, but I got a partner in Harlem. They said the people in Harlem don't even know them dudes. That's why they had to go to Boston, because I've been changing the narrative of doing and programs and services. They got to go to Boston to try to show something that they should be doing in Harlem. They got struggling people in gangs in Harlem. They got struggling people in gangs in Brooklyn. They got struggling people in gangs in the Bronx. Why the hell you got to go to the damn Boston to show that you doing something and your people are doing something? Because I'm changing the whole narrative. If you ain't doing nothing, if you ain't got a program, a service, or nothing, you can't speak. You are irrelevant, because you are relevant to the people who you lay your head next to every day. You're irrelevant to them people. So that's gonna be the whole paradigm shift. If you talking Pan-Africanism, but you ain't walking Pan-Africanism, I'm cutting your throat. If you talking more science, but you ain't walking more science, I'm cutting your throat. If you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite and you ain't walking like a Hebrew Israelite, I'm cutting your throat. If you talking any of these paradigms, but you ain't got nothing to show for it, but you're bumping, you out of there. You know what I'm saying? We knocking all the pins down this year. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be nothing but strikes, bro.
That's right. That's right. I'm with it, D-Red, and I'm on this campaign, man, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack from the Moors, because Moors are accustomed to just trying to be diplomatic. That's just not my style. My style is straight up and down. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches us there's two things in life. The one is truth, the other is falsehood. Either you're on the side of truth or you're on the side of falsehood. And as the Holy Quran in Mecca said, we hurl the truth at falsehood and knock its brains out. That's what we're going to do. We're not playing in 2017. We're going to build things in communities, and we're going to uplift our people, and we'll be able to go from city to city to city and enjoy ourselves in peace and teach our people to duplicate the work that we have done ourselves. Period, point blank. With that, Ishmael Bey, are you there, my brother?
Peace and blessings, family. Absolutely. Absolutely, sir.
In closing, brother, take us home, brother.
I must say, brother, I mean, 2016, I'm very, very, very proud of the way that the Moors conducted themselves.
Absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely.
talking about the way Moors came together to make sure that April 10th was successful. Their overall, the conduct of the Moors, man, it was a very good paragon example of how you're supposed to take care of your business, you know. And even if you're coming from different paths, all unifying under the oneness of Allah and coming together as family, as sisters and brothers, and as Moors, it was a whole nother level of something that was very, very necessary. And I'm very, very proud of the way we handled ourselves. Now, my grandmother, she's now passed away, but even at the age of like 97 or 96 rather, she said, baby, it's a poor frog that don't praise his own pond. You know, her being from the South, that's the way that she always expressed that. It's a poor frog that don't praise his own pond. We have brilliant minds within the Moorish family. And I've been blessed enough to be surrounded by some of the most brilliant minds coming from Syracuse, New York, that help nurture me and challenge me and keep me sharp and let me grow. And then outside of the Syracuse environment, the Moorish environment of building with like-minded people, praising one another, realizing how great we are and the brilliance of our minds. We now, as a Moorish family, have access to some of the top lawyers in or outside of the temple. We have access to some of the top doctors, geneticists, lecturers, intellectuals. We have access, direct access to all of them. Why? Because there's brothers like me and brothers like all of us, as in different branches of even Ali's men. We have access to so many celebrities, athletes. We don't need anybody else. We're going to praise our own pond and recognize our own brilliance and be guided by Allah. And we're going to be guided by the Prophet. And we'll be guided by laws and structures and a form that's going to make sure that we are laying a proper legacy for our children. This is something that can never be taken away. When I pass away, there will be something that's built to make sure that our children have a legacy that they're going to build on. And I know that by us controlling our environment and unifying under the oneness of Allah, there's absolutely nothing that can stop us, brother. I salute you.
Peace, my brother. You know you my brother. Absolutely, brother. I'm definitely feeling you. But in closing, man, I thank all of y'all for coming on through. I like to share something with y'all. You know, Sister Melanin Sutek, she had mentioned that, you know, the brother was leading his demonstration. But let's look at this. And this is not a shot. This right here was all fluff. All fluff. All pumped up and all fluff. Polite destroyed him. I knew Polite would destroy him. But this was all fluff. This has become commercial. This is commercial here. No shot at my brother Polite, because Polite just went in and do what he did. And that's my brother. But this here, all for fluff. Flop. Right here, never took place. Tommy Sotomayor took that bread and said you get nothing since you want to play games.
That was funny.
Move on right here. Nothing but drama, guns, cussing out, fighting. This is not conscious. And right here, y'all know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? What that was right here was my brother smashing the falsehood.
My God and my salvation.
This broke their back. This broke their back, family. They ain't know what to do about this here.
Let's go.
They ain't know what to do. Yeah, let's go.
We gonna teach them to love instead of hate. We uplift and educate. You wanna debate?
Everybody wanna be committed.
Steady shaka, no anyone can get it. It's real down here, people. Let's make it clear. I'm running in love instead of hate, but I ain't there. I don't want to know this about time we check. You just up with nothing, you got disrespectful. I'ma keep it raw, you haven't met no more. If you did, your approach wouldn't be so quick. Red pill gave you the pass, I do the math. How many other roads, 2 seconds, I'm off your ass. So that I know exactly what he's doing. He behind it. Deep dog kick, you 1990 Mike Tyson. About to get knocked the F out for sure. The balls on the front is one thing you left out. You right behind you when we running you down. I respect you as an elder. I'm you now. Yeah, I love my brother Sam, but I got more love for God. A house of consciousness, a house of cards, a house of fraud. More if we go hard. You should have got the general to lead the charge so we can knock them around like polite did. Make a move to Beverly Hills that polite live. That's right. What up, Sweet? What up, to the L?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, Edwards Hill.
Let's go.
Sister Edwards. Yeah. What's up, Franklin Hill?
Let's go. Yeah.
These guys, man. Oh, tapping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, you screaming black power, but what the hell is the progression? Oh, tapping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, you screaming black power, but what the hell is the progression? Oh, tapping. And y'all follow this?
Yeah.
Oh, stand up.
No tapping, but like your brains, your face. You keep screaming black power, but ain't busting the great. City Sally be yelling, he do a whole lot of cussing. He be talking all loud, but ain't saying nothing. Tell him bang on the beat, but he don't bang in the streets. Yeah, he bang on the mic and charge you for a fee. Let peep what they say and then peep how they roll. Shaka put on his makeup and said he powdered his nose. Man, you gotta be kidding me talking about my fans.
Shaka rocking that Remy.
They said he a cokehead. I call him Remy and Coke. I mean, the boys are a joke. I wish they would step to me and not be going for broke. Oh yeah, I talk with aggression. But better stick to the lessons.
They be talking about wars, but they be banning weapons.
You know they only hold tapping.
Yeah, they fake with the lessons. They be talking the hard, but where the hell is the progression?
Hey, let me rock out. Hold up.
Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Oh, tapping, no really fake with the lessons. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Oh, tapping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Oh, tapping. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Sinetta, you know better than the testimony. I think I told you before. And look what happened to your boy. And now you got this Maybelline queen up on my screen.
It grew a mustache, so you know what that means? Low self-esteem and got something to prove. That's right, I love Jesus, I got nothing to lose. I put my life on the line and I bear my cross. The Jesus that I come to love, walk like a boss. Yeah, he flip over tables and I ride through the streets on the back of an ass. Yeah. The clowns are weak. Yeah, you managed to reach. You should be managed to teach her. I took you all in the gimmick and he still couldn't reach her. My prophet, he was born in the state of NC. I was born in MC. You know where to reach me. You can't leave NYC without wearing a vest because you talk that mess. We not enlightened or impressed. Oh, tapping, misrepresenting the lesson. Yeah, you screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Oh, tapping, misrepresenting the lesson. Oh, it's 11 o'clock.
Screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Oh, tapping.
Let's go out like this.
Oh, tapping, misrepresenting the lesson.
Let's go like this.
Black power, but where the hell is the progression? Oh, tapping. You know, back in the day they had this John, they used to call it like
walk like Egyptian.
These clowns today, they do this joke called Hotepping. That means they get this knowledge, they get this information, and then they start stepping
like it.
As if they got some supreme knowledge, you know what I'm saying? That's just Hotepping. They faking, man. They ain't with that. People like Hotepping, misrepresenting the lesson. Yeah, you screaming black power, but what the hell is the progression? Hotepping, misrepresenting the lesson.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, family.
I'm trying to be your friend, man.
You know I gotta play my theme song.
Help me out. Meet me halfway. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. But let me be your friend. Peace one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. And yeah, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom. Till I return to Allah. One day we gon' meet him. I'm all about justice. That's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish fashion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail, enough to call enough Neanderthal, and he all pale. I mean, for real, this is what it comes to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other. Yeah, we can be scholarly, but we can get gutter. We are the children of our father, and the rest of our mother has nursed us all. And first of all, we people out of pain trying to murder us all. You need to chill, my brother, and tell the elders the same. Cause on the real, my man, I'm really about them things. I can take the feds off and get it back in the low. And return to the state where they used to call me dope. But no, I'm rolling with the prophet of Allah. I want love, not war. Standing on that floor, then I'm holding the square. The compass in the axe that might be too deep. Yeah, let's not get off track. See, that prophet was an adept. Do you know what that is? An Egyptian adept. It's a brother who lived by the universal science developed in the now. We call it Islam, but it's the same, my child. Sit at the foot of a master. I train you up, but I might have to bang you up. I still love you. And those that's talking that this ain't Islam, everything the prophet taught is in the Quran. All that other stuff, prostrate and cover up is just a start. And there's space to me, the law is the heart. You can dress like a protect, but you can dress like an herb. While the Moorish American Muslim unifies the word. You can say what you want about Dr. Yo, but he gave you different variations of the same book. You won't appreciate that. You won't appreciate me. Appreciate the holy and divine true Ali. People refuse to admit it. He's the first that ever did it. Europeans hope that the Moors will forget it, but we're here, strong, alive and well, resurrected from hell, with a story to tell. So pay attention and listen, and consider the facts. You know it's humanly impossible for you to be black. I guess a Chinaman is yellow, a Mexican is brown. Just think for a second how ridiculous it sounds. We can turn it around, but we must unite. It's okay to disagree, but we don't have to fight. Cause if we have to fight, you know how we get. I'm still learning to love. No, I'm not there yet. So work with me, fam, and I'ma work with you. And let's all work together and do what we gotta do. Cause on the real side, we haven't made no progress since 1929 when the prophet left the flesh. We got an Asiatic president, men marrying men, psycho shooting up for club and don't see his own sin. And those that say they conscious, that took your thoughts, move straight to Hollywood, straight living it up, and y'all picking it up, straight cheesing and grinning. But it was your friend to help set it off in the beginning. Be careful what you put in your soul, cause it reminds you. Unfortunately, some people get paid to misguide you, Oh yeah, I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never, and you would never, and you ain't never, ever. You ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever gonna be one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. Oh yeah, you ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever gonna meet one again. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. I wanna be your friend. Yeah. Let me be your friend. We ain't trying to be enemies. I wanna be your. So let me be your. I wanna be your friend. Hey.